is the Patriots Drive Podcast.
We are all Patriots.
Where we discuss, analyze, and answer questions to all things happening in the NFL and with our New England Patriots. Now, here's your host, Cole Kelly.
Let's go!
What is going on, everybody? It is finally the NFL draft. The 2026 NFL draft is going on right now. We are about to get the first pick of the NFL draft. We got a long ways as Patriots fans to go, but I'm going to be here all night. Cole will join us about halfway through. But there's lots to talk about. A.J. Brown rumors, Mike Vrabel just addressed the media. We got everything. So whatever you guys are thinking, you guys go ahead. Let me know in the comments. Got a long time to hang out. I will have the audio you guys can see on the screen below. Also, I will have the audio playing for the draft at sometimes, and then it also will be showing the picks and the ticker like on the bottom of the NFL draft. So, Boston GM, how's it going, man? I think there's two clear paths. If Ihanator is there, stick and pick. If not, trade down to the Cardinals to 34 and draft a D, and they can come up for Simpson. Yeah, lots of reports that the Cardinals want to come up for Simpson. I think that they might want to try to jump potentially the Jets at pick 33, the first pick in the second round. So they definitely want to potentially move up. Now, if Ihanator is there, I agree with you. I'd stick and pick him or probably Blake Miller. But if not, I would totally look to trade down. The hard part is I don't think New England needs extra picks in the 2026 draft. They already have 11. They have 8 day 3 picks. Somehow they need to try to get a 2027 pick in case the A.J. Brown rumors are true. Try to combat that. Try to offset that if they were to trade for A.J. Brown, and especially if it is a 2027 first-round pick. So I'm really excited. In the last mock draft me and Cole did, we explored trade down to pick 41, and we were still able to grab guys like Malachi Lawrence were still there. Eli Stowers were still there. You can still address a lot of good positions there and potentially get a 2027 pick by trading down. So I know that's not the most exciting thing to happen. Us Patriots fans sit around till pick 31, probably for the next 2.5 hours, and just for them to trade it away. But I do think we should be a little bit ready because I think there's a high possibility that that does happen just for the Patriots. How the board will fall, and especially with it not really being a great depth class. It's not top heavy. There's good depth, but it's one of the weaker classes that a lot of people have said and talked about in the last couple of years. So totally agree with that. Let me see if I can get this audio to work. I think I just have it muted. Let me see if this will. Let me know if you guys can hear that in the chat.
Pittsburgh, here we are. Come on, you do better than that.
Yep. Sounds like you guys can hear it. Cool. Let's hear what the commissioner has to say. Everyone's booing him.
Let's go. Let's hear you. There you go. Welcome to the 2026 NFL Draft. We are proud to be here in a city built on grit, built on steel, and home of one of the most dominant franchises in history. Your 6-time Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. But tonight we're going to celebrate Western Pennsylvania heritage. And as you can see,
let me know, guys, in the chat down below who you guys want the Patriots to draft. Who's at the top of your guys' list? You know, is it Ihanator? Is it T.J. Parker? Is it a Malachi Lawrence that might be gaining steam? Is it like a KC Concepcion? Let me know down below your guys' thoughts. Boss GM, I know you said Ihanator. Is there anyone else you're kind of looking for there?
Heart and soul of the Steelers, a captain. The 2023 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Cam Hayward. Take it away, Cam.
Miller or Ihanator. Yeah, I like Miller or Ihanator. I like the right tackle spot. Like, listen, I really like a couple edges, but for me, I'm not so sure that there's going to be a really impactful guy there. Like, Malachi Lawrence is great first step, but is he just a designated pass rusher at 31? I think you can find more value with a high upside guy like Max Ihanator. You could also get someone like Blake Miller, who's really ready to go to potentially replace Morgan Moses. For tight end, I think it's going to be one of those 4th rounders. Marlon Klein makes a lot of sense. I like Oscar Delp in the 3rd. I mocked Oscar Delp a lot. I think with the Mike Vrabel connection to Ohio State, Max Clare would probably have to be a second-round pick, but he's potentially in there. One mock draft that I did explore is trading down and taking Eli Stowers. Thomas Bryant obviously did a lot of work with Eli Stowers. He went out there. He's scoured the whole, region and stuff for tight end. So maybe they want to take a guy like Eli Stowers, who's totally opposite from Hunter Henry, but could play alongside him and then potentially be the future tight end one. So love Delp. I'd be okay with trading. Yeah, Mike, that's another one. Like maybe they take a couple of their 6th-round picks or a 6th and a 5th or something, and they're able to move a guy and get Michael Mayer. That's a great option. He was a high-round pick a couple years ago, has kind of gotten buried in Las Vegas' system. I believe he was drafted by Josh McDaniels also. So again, there's another one that makes a lot of good sense for the Patriots. Tight end. So obviously offensive tackle, edge. Tight end is a need, backers a need, and I do think interior D-line is a need just because they lost Kyrie's Tonga. There's uncertainties about potentially Christian Barmore. So it'll be interesting. I think that edge, offensive tackle are the twos in play here. If they don't feel comfortable about an A.J. Brown trade, which I don't know why they wouldn't, because it feels like it's going to happen. Maybe if there's a receiver that fell like a Casey Concepcion or Denzel Boston, you could look at that. But if not, you kind of look to address those other positions later in the draft. So,
okay, these players forge the path for the next generation of stars we will welcome into the National Football League starting tonight. Pittsburgh, this is a moment you all been waiting for. Yins ready? All right. The 2026 NFL Draft is officially open. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
Oregon or Aiden Fisher. I do like Aiden Fisher a lot. He is like an alpha type of guy that feels like he'd fit in this Mike Vrabel style type of defense and just leadership role in general. He was so good for Indiana this year. Played a lot of college football. Also limited a little athletically, a little bit undersized, but everything you want in a backer. I like Jack Kelly out of BYU. He's a little bit undersized also, but he's a little bit more athletic than a guy like Aiden Fisher. Caleb Elarms Orr is another guy also in that area too. So I'm looking early day 3 for a backer. They could also just address it like right off the bat in round 2. They could say, hey, maybe they made a trade down. Maybe Jacob Rodriguez is the best one. Maybe they want to go with like an Anthony Hill or Jake Golday. Those are the top backers that will be available around when the Patriots are picking, most likely in the second, or if they trade down. So I like that. Eli Raridan. Yes, I do like Eli Raridan. Both of you guys. I like that a lot. He has been injured, though. That's my concern now. He has massive size. He's like 6'6", has great ability to stretch the seam. So I do like Eli Raridan. Probably if you don't love the tackles or the tight ends, if Oscar Delp's off the board, guys like that, Eli Raridan could be a guy that you might get a little bit on a discount because he's just been so hurt. And he just hasn't played a lot of football. But when he has, he's been really freaking good for Notre Dame. They just had Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, so they didn't really need to run the ball or throw the ball very often. But Eli Raridan would be a tight end I'd like for the Patriots to look at least if they haven't addressed it in the 3rd, 4th round. He might be a guy available in the 4th or 5th.
All right, Shefty, obviously a special night, and you will hear from Mendoza.
It also sounds like there might be a lot of movement in this round. Obviously you got teams that will look to move up into the late part of the 1st, but I don't know if I'm buying like the Cardinals moving out of 3. Like, I think they want to, but will they actually find someone? I guess we'll find out here pretty shortly. I would be kind of shocked to see if like Dallas came up to 3 and took like an Arvell Reese. That'd be kind of fun to see, kind of like what we saw last year with Travis Hunter. A top 5 pick's always fun.
Expecting that Fernando Mendoza would be the first pick in this draft.
We were talking Arch Manning with the trifecta, which was, right, Heisman Trophy, national championship, and #1 pick overall. Then it went to Dante Moore. He had that great game against Penn State up at Happy Valley late September. Then Fernando Mendoza goes from Cal to Indiana. You're watching him to see if he develops, see if he improves. Does he cut that sack total down? There's 41 sacks at Cal in 11 games. Yes, he did. 25 sacks in 16 games. Clutch throws like that to Omar Cooper Jr.
I do like that the picks have gotten moved to 8 minutes now instead of 10. I mean, most of the deals are done before, so you don't really need 10 minutes. This is really just for the fans and stuff, like not waiting around as long. The other thing that bugs me, Vegas has been on the clock for 4 months. They know right now. The NFL does not need to hold this pick. Like, we know it's Fernando Mendoza. Why are they going to make this clock run down to 2 or a minute or 2? Like, get the pick in. Let's get going. We probably know it's Fernando Mendoza. We probably know pick 2 is going to be David Bailey. So it's like, let's get these picks rolling. We don't have to take all 8 minutes just because we put 8 minutes on the clock. Like, we can easily speed this up a little bit because I'm sure teams know and insert the picks a lot faster than what the NFL actually allows them to. That's another random tangent, but a random gripe. So, amen, preach. So, like, what are they sitting in there right now, Clint Kubiak and their GM, and they're like, is it Mendoza? Should we really take Mendoza? Like, no, you had the whole combine, you had the whole pre-draft process, you had the whole college football playoff because they were out of the NFL playoffs. So it's like, come on, we know who this is. Why is it even at 4 minutes right now? Why is it even here? At 7:45, they probably should have said the pick is in. We know who it's going to be.
No one questions that he's the number one pick in this draft, but Booker, he's not a perfect prospect. What things are you looking for?
Oh, it's a couple of concerns. He led the nation in RPOs, and so there was a lot of predetermined stuff before the ball was ever snapped. He threw a lot of back shoulder fades, and so when you're talking about how the NFL is going to make you play, the NFL is going to make you play post-snap. A lot of what he did was pre-snap. That's number one. And number two, guys, it's really simple. When you're the number one overall pick, you're going to be asked to carry the mail. You're going to be asked to be Peyton Manning.
There we go. The pick is in. Hey, didn't it get under 2 minutes? I like that. About 3:40. So it took him about, what, 4.5 minutes? Somewhere in that range, almost 5 minutes to make the pick. But still, come on. You didn't need 5 minutes.
That he is uniquely qualified to go ahead and carry the football team. When I went out to Indiana for their pro day, the number one thing that they said was, do not underestimate his leadership ability. There's another guy who exuded tremendous leadership ability during his time in the NFL, and that was Drew Bledsoe, a former number one overall as well, who had about 6'5", 240 pounds. Quite honestly, I played against Bledsoe. He looked just like Fernando Mendoza. The deep ball, the ability to throw it on time, in rhythm, put it with touch, store it with touch, and be able to just drop it in the bucket where wide receivers can catch and finish the play. Drew Bledsoe, you're going to see it here. This is old school tape now. This is the kind of tape that I love, Mel. This old AstroTurf, the kind that would just rip the skin off of you. Drew Bledsoe used to deal back then. Fernando Mendoza is going to deal for the Las Vegas Raiders. They should be absolutely ecstatic that they got someone of this caliber.
Hey, did anybody think that Joe Burrow or Peyton Manning could carry a team when they came out? I don't think so. There were questions.
I worry about the Raiders should come up and snap a tackle at the end of the first. Miller most likely. Yeah, I have a hard time believing Blake Miller is going to fall because I think he's a little more polished than Ihanachour. I think that everyone likes his size. They like his athletic ability. They like how much he's played. So I don't know how early the Raiders would have to come up. I think if they want Miller, they're looking like Philadelphia might love him. Like, might really want to take Blake Miller at 23, depending on who else is on the board. There's a lot of tackle needy teams, at other spots also. So it's finally here, the first pick. Let's see who it is. I think we all know, though.
With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
What? I would have never have guessed. I will say, like, Fernando Mendoza's got a really cool story, man. Like, starting at Cal, going to one of historically the worst college football programs, and the turnaround him, Signetti, all them to winning a national championship. It's cool. I will cheer for this guy. Like, it's hard not to cheer for a guy like Fernando Mendoza. Just worked hard. All about faith, all about God, all about the right things, and he's a ball player. He's tough as nails. So that's cool. Good for him, man. Good for him going to Vegas, especially with an offensive-minded head coach. And he has the benefit of them signing Kirk Cousins. He has the benefit of potentially sitting for a little bit. And that's great for him. I think that is in no means the end of the world for rookie quarterbacks. If they have to sit even 6 games, that's totally fine.
A celebration is also on at Christopher Columbus High School nearby, where Fernando Mendoza once starred. That's a celebration and a nearby watch party as well. Listen, if there has been a better story in college football history than Indiana in 2025, I have not heard it, and Fernando Mendoza had the starring roles. Here he is tonight, finally, the number one pick in the draft, and he is standing by now with our Taylor McGregor for his initial impressions on being the number one pick in this draft. Taylor.
Well, thank you so much. In the last 5 months, you have won the Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and now you're the first overall pick in the NFL draft. How have the last 5 months
They sent her to?
The last 5 months has been such a
Oh,
blessing.
this
by
interview is
God,
going
and
to
I
be funny.
can't thank him enough. I'm just looking forward to get to work, prove at the next level. College was fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that career. But now I step into a great game of the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it every single day.
You're going to the Las Vegas Raiders.
This guy's interviews crack me up. His answers.
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. God bless.
They sent Taylor McGregor all the way to his house and wherever he's at just to interview him for a minute and a half and for him to be all corny. Heck yeah.
Let the unexpected begin. Mel Kiper, the New
He
York
does
Jets
crack me
go
up, though.
on
His
the
interview,
clock,
his
and
hand
pretty much
gestures,
all
too,
the
where he's like,
conversation has
I just
centered
want to thank
around
God,
the
and,
two
you know, where we really
defensive
gelled and bonded as a team.
David Bailey and Arvell Reese. What are your expectations for
Hell
the
yeah.
Jets here?
Arvell Reese, I'll tell you what, you look at him physically, he is central casting for a off-ball linebacker, an edge rusher.
This pick will be, this is an AFC East team, so we can talk about this. I think this is David Bailey. I think that Aaron Glenn, they want to move to more like 3-down front type of team. They need an edge rusher. I think that David Bailey is the pick here. It could. I have Arvell Reese as my number one player. Arvell Reese is my number one player on my big board right here. David Bailey comes in at number 4. So I like Arvell Reese is the better football player, but I think David Bailey is an easier fit because he's a straight edge rusher. You got to do a lot more with Arvell Reese. He can be very dynamic, and you don't want to just use him as one thing. You want to use him as multiple. I think the Jets might just look to be, hey, let's go get a true edge rusher, which is David Bailey in my opinion. So I think this is David Bailey. Pick is in. Now it's interesting, you know, obviously this pick is in, so we'll find out who it is. But is Arizona going to actually find a trade partner? Are they going to move out? Are they going to stick and pick Jeremiah Love at pick 3? That will be really interesting. Well said, completely agree. It does worry me a little. Getting David Bailey, an elite pass rusher in the AFC East, that does worry me a little just because of how the Patriots have struggled to protect. Now, Will Campbell's going to get better. Morgan Moses has been solid. If you draft a right tackle, potentially, you know, that can hopefully lock down David Bailey. But it does worry me to get an elite pass rusher in the division with the struggles the tackles have had for the Patriots. So, but Arvell Reese is also a very complete player that can do a lot more things and make it really hard. So, you know, pick your poison there. But the Patriots seem to struggle a little bit more with those elite edge rushers. At least they did in the playoffs.
And the production of a David Bailey. I'm going to lean toward David Bailey with the 14.5 sacks. So,
look, I mean, the statistics are not in the Jets' favor. You're right. Sack percentage, pressure percentage, they're one of the worst in the NFL. You know what else they were worse in terms of taking the ball away? People who can make plays on the ball, getting absolutely bludgeoned in the middle of the field by running back. They were the worst defense in the NFL as far as linebacker play on the second level. They need both of these guys. The question is, what do they prioritize?
The pick is in. I'll remind you, the Jets have 2 picks in the first round tonight. They will be
just so you guys know, I won't talk the whole 3 hours. Once Cole gets on, there will be a lot more dialogue and stuff. But if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. You can always do a super chat. I'll get to it right away. If you want to donate money, support the channel. If you're not already, like, subscribe to this video, and you know. But any of the sport, we're just hanging out tonight, man. And here's the Jets pick. Let's listen to it.
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
It's interesting they announced him as a linebacker because he's not a linebacker. He's an edge. That's interesting because I'm pretty sure the teams send in the picks.
Players selected in the top 5 in the common draft.
That's interesting. But that's who I thought it was. I know there's a lot of. Well, hey, listen, I said Arvell Reese is my number 1 player on my board, but David Bailey I think is the right pick for the Jets here, even though it kind of scares me a little.
For a ferocious defense that led the Red Raiders to the 4th seed in the college football playoff, tied for the most sacks in the nation. Bailey was a consensus All-American. He transferred Mel.
Lost GM, you are the freaking man. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. We're hanging out all night here. I know you'll be in here. How are you feeling about the Bruins? They got a game tonight, right? Bruins Sabres game 3 back in Boston. It's 1-1. It should be 2-0. I was talking to Cole about this. Freak, they for like 95% of the series, the Bruins have been the better team. There was just a 6-minute span where Buffalo went crazy and had all the momentum because it was their first freaking playoffs in 13 years. So that's been a fun series to watch. So that one's been fun. I'm a Mammoth fan being from Utah. So Mammoth Golden Knights have been fun. That's been really freaking cool. So also the Red Sox, we talked about this. Red Sox, they've been struggling a little, man. But you got two good teams. You got the Bruins in 7. There you go. You got Bruins. You got the Celtics making deep playoff runs. Hopefully the Red Sox pick it up a little bit, and then obviously the Patriots. So this is the only way I can hear the draft. LOL. I'm too cheap to get all the streaming apps. No, man, I appreciate it. Hang in here all day. I'll stream it for you. You can see the picks at the bottom. I'll throw the audio on when the picks are being made, and at times when I'm not answering questions or need to give my voice a little bit of a break, I'll turn the dialogue on and stuff. So come on in, man. I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Athletic ability, ankle flexion, dipping the inside shoulder, and then you have to have the burst to get to the quarterback and to finish.
Boss GM, I need you to rank this for me. I always ask people this. So you're Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, okay? Rank them in order of who you would want to win a championship, like most recently. Like if you could pick, hey, is it the Bruins this year? Is it the Celtics? Is it the Patriots? How would you rank those 4 teams in getting a championship in your mind? I always am interested in this because, like, obviously as Patriots fans, we've seen 6 championships. So, is there going to be Patriots where, oh, hey, we've seen 6 championships. Would it be better to see someone else? So, all right, Pats, Bruins, Celtics, Sox. There you go. See, so you still want to see the Patriots win Super Bowls, even though we've seen 6 of them and stuff. That's, as a Jazz and a Mammoth fan being from the state of Utah, I would have to probably go Jazz in the NBA just because they've been historically bad. Mammoth, and then just because I've seen so many Patriots, and then Cubs. Like I do like the Cubs, but I would rather have the Patriots win one over them probably. So let's go, Pats. How's it going, man? Appreciate the support. Hanging out all day. Who do you want the Patriots to draft? Just outside of Worcester. Welcome. Who do you guys want the Patriots to draft? You two. Let me know. I've talked about Ihanator. I've talked about Blake Miller. Let me know who you think the Patriots should draft at 31. Maybe they do trade down. We'll obviously see. But let me know who you guys are hoping the Patriots get.
Laura, thank you very much. David Bailey is a New York Jet. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and Adam Schefter is standing by with more. Schefter, go.
The Jets had 26 sacks last year, which was the fewest the team had since 1999. They were looking for the best pass rusher in this draft, and they felt that was David Bailey. It also helped that they had 3 coaches on staff who were at Stanford when David Bailey was there. Those coaches helped bring a unique insight to the Jets that helped them make the pick that they helped turns around this franchise.
So, Lewis, you were talking about Bailey before we went down to the interview there. Do you believe the Jets got this right? It was a difficult decision, or at least it was one that was much discussed in New York and around them between Bailey and our
David Bailey was the second pick, Tony. David Bailey. It sounds like that's who they kind of zoned in on the last couple of days. I know they canceled the top 30 visit, which is really weird for them to do, but it ended up being David Bailey, a true pass rusher, which might be a little bit worrisome for the Patriots with their lack of ability to stop the elite edge rushers, but we will find out. This pick's interesting. It's a trade out spot. I don't know if they can move it. Is it really going to be Jeremiah Love? I would take Arvell Reese here. The pick is in, so they did pick. Are they actually going to take Jeremiah Love? They need offensive line. I don't know if there's an offensive lineman worthy of taking at 3. That's probably why they wanted to trade out. If you're going BPA, you take Arvell Reese as the Cardinals. If you really want to take Jeremiah Love, you take Jeremiah Love. He is my second-ranked player on my big board. So, it's a running back, but they need a lot more than just a running back. They need an offensive line. It would kind of be like what the Raiders did last year with Genty. So this is an interesting pick right here. I'm real intrigued, especially because they obviously could not move the pick. They wanted to. They were trying, but they could not actually find a trade partner.
On my board, he's right there before they have no Mendoza. What's this team need? They need juice. They need to energize the fan base. They have no identity. It's a bland football team, right? That's the Arizona Cardinals. What is Jeremiah Love? He's much more than a running back. I said you could put 84 on that jersey. Could have been a first-round pick. Slot, wide. He could catch the ball. He had runs of 36 or more yards in 7 games. He had runs of 29 or more yards in 8 games in 2024. He's 20 years of age. He never fumbled. He is a great young man for Arizona. If he were just a running back, He had some fumbling issues and he didn't catch the ball. No way. But to be as multidimensional as this kid is, you got to get the offensive line going. You got to get a quarterback in that division with Darnold, Stafford, and Purdy. They got work to do, but this kid is going to automatically get Marvin Harrison to step up a little bit. This kid can play big-time football regardless of getting a little help.
All right, we will find out if indeed that is the selection that they make. We'd anticipated perhaps a trade up to this spot. Does not appear we've had that. The Cardinals pick is indeed in. The Titans are on the clock, and the commissioner is making his walk to the podium.
All right, here we go. Let's see. This is an interesting one.
The Arizona Cardinals fans standing in anticipation.
With the third pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah.
Wow. I didn't actually think that they would do it, but they freaking did. Wow.
They really did it.
Wow, that is actually shocking. So I actually think Tennessee goes Sonny Styles now. A lot of the stuff that people have been saying is that Sonny Styles would be the pick if Jeremiah Love's off the board. So I think Tennessee looks Sonny Styles, and that makes sense because their new head coach, Robert Saleh, wants a Fred Warner type guy. He could also take Arvell Reese. Like right now, Tennessee's probably salivating at the mouth because they have Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles on the board, and they're like, holy crap, we can get a versatile defender that goes hand in hand with what Robert Saleh's had the last couple of years in San Francisco. So, yeah, I mean, listen, the Mike Vrabel stuff, it's going to be going on for a while, but it's draft night. It's the best night of the offseason. We'll get to that at future points, but right now is the NFL draft. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about prospects. I want to talk about the draft. I've done like 5 months work of NFL draft prep and stuff. I don't want it to be overruled like the last week has been. So this will be draft focused for sure. Yeah, Tony, I'm shocked right here. I mean, he's great. He's an awesome player. Of running back there when they had so many other needs is crazy, but they probably felt like it's BPA. Like I said, he's number 2 on my board. Arvell Reese is number 1, so it wasn't best player available for me, but it might have been for Arizona.
Those guys are difference makers. This kid fits right into that mold. I cannot wait to see him go ahead and infuse that organization with some juice, Mel, like you talked about. That's what he's going to bring.
He's fear factor all the way. And he's going to make defensive coordinators have some restless legs figuring out, okay, where's he going to be? In a backfield slot? Or is he wide? Kid doesn't fumble the football. What I want to see is, remember, Chargers got LaDainian Tomlinson, then Drew Brees. I'm not saying Ty Simpson's going to be Drew Brees, but do they pair Jeremiah Love with Ty Simpson by trading him to the late first or taking him to pick number 2?
Running back is still a dime a dozen. Yeah, it's
let's take a look at
you have the elite backs in the NFL, right? Like you got Jamar Gibbs. You got Bijan Robinson. Ashton Genty was taken there. But when you need so much more, like they drafted Trey Benson, I believe, in the 2nd or 3rd round just a couple years ago now. I know he's been hurt, but when they need so many more, I don't know. I don't love it. This is an elite talent, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, Jeremiah Love is an insane talent. So, like, I love the player. I'm just questioning the fit just because I thought they needed so much more than just a running back. And, you know, when you're picking at 3, you hope you're not picking in the top 5 again the following year. But does a running back really make that much of an impact that they can't or that they won't be, you know, in there? So, the Pats suck. Thanks, Bush. Shut up. The Giants are going to make a horrible pick. I can just feel it. That's my buddy. He's a Giants fan. I'm done with Vrabel stuff. They got to let that man and his family do them. Exactly. Like, listen, it sucks. It's horrible. I'm not going to spend time on it, but it's a draft time. I think his press conference today was great. Like he said, let's focus on the draft. He trusts his staff. That's what it's going to be. I'm amazed with how low some people have Singleton. I think he could be a good value for the Pats later. Singleton had a very bad year this year, but if you go back and watch his career, he's explosive. He's athletic. He runs hard. He has the home run speed. I agree. I think the little bit of down year that he had this year for Penn State is swaying people, but he has the talent to be a true workhorse back. Now, I don't know if I'd pair him with Travion Henderson. I think that I would just wait and take like an Adam Randall or someone a little bit not as redundant, but Travion Henderson is going to be the number 1 running back here. Love him, but that's tough to go at 2. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, at 3. Yep.
It's just a blessing.
You have to build inside out. I mean, that's what Vrabel, or not Vrabel, Belichick, you know, like a lot of teams, they want to build from the trenches. Some teams do it opposite, but running back is just a hard one because if you don't have an O-line and you don't have holes there in the NFL, especially, it's how much can they actually create. Genty struggled last year early a lot. So Tennessee's pick is in. I think this is Sonny Styles if I had to bet. Arvell Reese makes sense here also, but I think the Sonny Styles is like the fit that what's his name, Rob Saleh is looking for in his defense. Like that's the versatile linebacker that I think he wants.
But I'm adapted to big-time all-purpose facts, and that's what he is. And I disagree with you, Bo, on this. No, you talk about a guy, first, second best player in the draft. He's number 2 for me, right there with Mendoza. You're picking 3rd overall. You can't reach for CC Maui Noah, the tackle out of Miami. Can't reach for any of the offensive linemen. You got a guy in your top 3, that's Jeremiah Love. Then you got to fix the offensive line.
All right, and so let's move it forward now. The Tennessee Titans will be making their selection. In fact, I see on the screen behind me that their pick is in. With new coach Robert Saleh, you see him there in the center of all of it. That could go a number of different directions here, Booger. What are you anticipating?
Well, they can go one of 2 ways. They can get somebody on the defensive side of the football to line up next to Jeffrey Simmons and help him. Or do you pair somebody with Cam Ward, the number 1 pick last year, and try to help somebody on the offense? They got to help their star players. Is you going to help Cam Ward or are you going to help Jeffrey Simmons? Which way do they go?
All of those great Ohio State defensive players remain on the board if that's the direction that Robert Saleh.
All right, here we go. Looks like Commissioner's at the podium.
Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs.
Oh, nope.
All of them expected to be drafted early here tonight off that outstanding Buckeyes defense. Will that be the direction Tennessee goes? We'll find out in a moment. Here he is.
Here he is. Here we go.
Making his way to the podium to announce selection number 4.
I think it's Sonny Styles. That's my bet here.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell.
Wow. Holy crap.
Ohio State.
You were right. You were right. Best kept. Wow.
Wow. That one sends a charge through this crowd, and wide receiver U strikes again. Carnell Tate is the 6th Buckeyes wide receiver.
Let me process this real quick.
In the first round in the last 5 drafts. He started 25 games opposite Jeremiah Smith the past 2 seasons, caught 103 balls for 13 touchdowns. Mel.
He's a ready-to-go guy for the NFL. Precise route runner, great hands.
I mean, obviously, Carnell Tate was my number 1 wide receiver. He ended up falling 8th on my big board. For me, you go look, they had Alec Aomanor last year who actually played pretty good for them. Chimere DK also, he's more of an all-purpose guy, but he's great. Wandale Robinson, they signed big. Calvin Ridley's getting older, but they're just trying to get Cam Ward, you know, guys that he can throw the ball to, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. Like, you invested the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward last year, so you want to take guys there. It's crazy. Well, I mean, Wandale Robinson and Alec Aomanor aren't bad options. They're not number 1s. They did pay Wandale Robinson a lot of money. So, like, they needed a receiver. I just thought no way that Robert Saleh, being, you know, a new head coach coming into this system and stuff, was going to pass up on a defensive talent like Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles. Like, that to me is actually just shocking. Like, I don't hate the pick. I don't hate Carnell Tate. I just was not expecting them to go offense with this pick because of who their head coach that they just got was. So it's interesting. It is. The draft is finally started. Yeah, that's kind of the first one. And the Giants pick is already in. Listen, they can't go wrong here. They have the 3 best defensive players on the board. My number 1, my number 3, and my number 5 prospect, Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Sonny Styles. They have one of those guys. The shocking pick here would be offensive line if they felt like they needed a Francis Mauigoa, Spencer Fano, things like that. But honestly, if they go one of the top 3 defensive guys and all of them happen to be from Ohio State, this is a damn good pick for them. That's very good.
When the coverage is rolled to him, how does he adjust when the game plan is for him? That's something he's going to have to adjust to. But as far as being a solid state guy,
they turned this pick in quick too, so they knew. And You know, a lot of people think that Sonny Styles is the pick. Something. Listen, I didn't think Arvell Reese would be available here, so maybe he's a sleeper that, you know, they could throw in and take. Obviously, my one player falling down the board, but I thought that Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs would be the options here. But now with Arvell Reese on the board, you don't know.
The Carnell Tate becomes the second receiver drafted in the top 4 in the last decade. Marvin Harrison Jr., also from Ohio State, was the other. Harriet Bonvoy takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with Carnell Tate.
Carnell, what do you want your new quarterback, Cam Ward, to know about what you'll bring to this Titans offense?
I'm a reliable target for him. Whenever he needs me, I'm there for him. I'm always open.
Yeah, Boss GM.
I had a really incredible moment.
Like, my gut tells me Styles or Downs because that's what all the like pre-draft report was, but most of the pre-draft report, and like I didn't think Arvell Reese would be here. And so I agree. Like, if you're telling me Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, and Caleb Downs are all on the board, I'm doing a mock draft. I'm taking Arvell Reese here. But you know, are they going to stick to their guns and say, nah, we want them? I don't know. They could easily. This is a great spot for the Giants to be in. This is great because they need a defense. They need defensive help. They can take them there. And honestly, if you take Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese here, there's a chance. It might not happen, but there's a chance that Caleb Downs gets to 10 also. Now, again, if they go O-line or they feel like they need O-line or something, then they go. But yeah.
Coming true directly before your eyes. Mendoza, Bailey, Love, and Tate are the first 4. The New York Giants are on the clock. You're watching the NFL Draft on ESPN.
Commercial break, and then hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully we get the Giants pick coming in. I'm interested.
She said, "Can I get the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light?" Her words, not mine. She wants 3.
She wants more of those deviled eggs, too.
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
Sarah Benzino. Brandon Coley.
There's a trade?
Auto Body, LLC.
Can't be the Giants, right? The pick is already in, so it's got to be someone coming up to 6 or something.
We actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze, Tan, and Spa.
You need a tan?
Trying to see if you guys have the details on the trade. It can't be the Giants. The Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming up to 6. Are the Chiefs coming up to 6 with Kansas City?
What did you bring back?
Listen, so here, let me talk about this. If the Chiefs are coming up to 6, then there's a chance Arvell Reese is still there. There's a chance that they saw what the pick was, and the Chiefs are now trying to get up to 6 with Cleveland. Oh, this is interesting, man. Cleveland. Yeah. There's a chance this might not be Arvell Reese because, I mean, I guess I could see Kansas City still wanting to go up for like a Caleb Downs or a Sonny Styles, but maybe they saw that like the Giants stick with Sonny Styles, and now they're coming up for Arvell Reese.
Done by us. Introducing Home Care Plus subscription.
It's obviously pick 9. I'm interested to see if they get pick 29. Probably not just for going up 3 spots. I don't think so.
They're also one of America's largest financial services companies too.
Yeah, the Browns are trading number 6 overall to the Chiefs. Okay, Chiefs are on the clock. Okay, and now this makes it real interesting. Styles and KC could be. I mean, like I said, whoever goes here, they're still trading up for someone that has great value. Like, I don't know if they needed to trade up if it is Caleb Downs, unless they have intel that Caleb Downs might fall. I feel like there's a chance Caleb Downs could have made it to pick 9, just because you look at, I mean, at 6, I thought that they were going to go offensive tackle or Carnell Tate, the Browns, but obviously Carnell Tate's off the board. So offensive tackle, maybe they feel like they can get Maui Noga at 9. That's why they made the trade down. 7 is going to be Washington. Washington's for sure a Sonny Styles team, so maybe they do want Sonny Styles, and they felt like they had to jump Cleveland. Or they had to jump Washington. Sorry, that's why they had to trade with Cleveland. Yeah, this is fun. This is getting a little fun, man. Kansas City moving up here.
Deeper access with a subscription to NFL Plus.
We still need to know who the Giants pick is, though.
The plays. All in one place.
Wow! Are you kidding me?
All year long. Welcome home. Scan now and score 40% off NFL Plus.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, the National Football League.
So KC for sure gave up 9. I bet they had to give up.
And here comes the commissioner, Roger Goodell, to make
Only
the
moving up
announcement.
3, maybe a
He's
third,
brought
but
some special guests along to help him do it.
all right, let's hear. This is the Giants. Here we go.
In partnership with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, one of the NFL's Salute to Service partners, we are honored to recognize the surviving families.
Let's go over the
United
trade real
States
quick
Army
before.
Major Paul
Actually, we'll talk
C.
about it after the Giants picks so that we can talk about it while they're on the clock.
Major Volke sustained tragic fatal injuries while deployed in Afghanistan. He is survived by his spouse, Tracy, and their 2 sons, Andrew and Benjamin. Major Volke was raised in the Hudson Valley and was a lifelong fan of the New York Giants, a tradition he proudly passed on to his sons. Volke family, take it away.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese, linebacker
There you go.
from the Ohio State University.
Yeah, you didn't think he would be there, so they obviously got a great pick. So now let's go talk about. So Kansas City gave up 9, 74, and 148. So 74 is an early third, I believe. It's pick. What is that in the third? The third starts at pick 65, so it's like pick 10 in the third round, and then what was it? 148 is again pick 10 in the 5th. So they gave up. They moved, or Cleveland moves down 3 spots from pick 6 to 9, and they get an extra early 3rd and early 5th, which is important. So Bush is happy about that one. Let's go. The best team in the NFL, the best player in the draft. I don't know if that's the best team in the NFL. That's for damn sure. So there's a reason they're picking at 5 and 10 because they suck. 10 more because they traded their good players because no one wants to be there. So expect Arvell Reese to request a trade in about 4.5 years.
Carl Banks, Pepper Johnson, and they had the great LT. Think of some of the guys they have now at linebacker in this new 3-4 booger. They got Brian Burns, Tremaine Edmonds inside.
Yeah, this is so Burns, Reese, and Thibodeau. Now, I think Arvell Reese is best used as a off-ball backer. I think he has pass rushing versatility, but I would play him as an off-ball backer. So I think this makes sense. Now, if the Giants want to move Thibodeau, they've talked about potentially moving him in the past. I don't think that they are necessarily like trying to do it actively, but they could easily do that. So they could play all 3 of them at a time. You know, Reese off-ball backer, Burns, Thibodeau off the edge. They could look to move Thibodeau. I don't think Reese is going to have much success in the NFL if he's just a straight edge rusher. I think he needs to play off-ball backer and be very positional, versatile, and do a bunch of different things. That's where I feel like he's at his best. So we the new OKC. Yeah, sure. So I'd take Tibbs. Yeah, I'd take Kayvon Thibodeau too. Us Patriots fans aren't over the Giants' losses. That's for dang sure. So I'm guessing Kansas City.
That's the number one thing that dumps off at on tape.
Who'd they feel like they had? I feel like if they feel like they had to get ahead of Washington, it's for Sonny Styles because Sonny Styles was probably a Washington pick.
And you'll just see it here.
Dan Quinn, all that stuff. So this might be Sonny Styles coming off the board here. Kansas City at pick 6. Oh, here you go. Look, Schefter at the bottom of the screen, if you guys can see it. Despite drafting Arvell Reese, Giants do not intend to trade Kayvon Thibodeau. So, you know, there's going to be both of them on the field at the same time.
And then if you do want to see the speed and the bend coming off the edge, he's got it naturally.
Yeah, see, that's where I see Arvell Reese being the best.
Man, with all the different body types that they have in the New York Giants right now in the linebacker room, they have got an embarrassment of riches. Bernard Wilson, defensive coordinator, you're on the clock now. You've got some guys to work with.
All right, Marriott Banboy is going to take us back down to the stage. Now Laura is standing by with Arvell Reese. Laura.
Arvell, what have the Giants shared with you about how they plan to utilize you in their defense?
You know, the Giants told me they're going to get unique with me. They said they're going to use me in a bunch of unique ways, so I'm looking forward to that.
It hasn't been easy for you, this journey. What can you say about those that have helped you all the way back to your days at Glenville High School in Ohio?
Yeah, I can't say nothing but thank you. You know, it's a bunch of childhood coaches I done had. You know, my high school coaches, my parents, my family, my brothers. All I can say is thank you.
And you got the hat to fit finally.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Laura, thank you. So a pair of pass rushers are now New York bound. David Bailey to the Jets and Arvell Reese to the Giants. Meanwhile, here at number 6, we have a trade. The Chiefs have moved up into this spot. Adam Schefter is standing by. Schefter, what can you tell us?
All right, Greeny, the Browns have been shopping this pick for weeks, and finally they found a taker in the Kansas City Chiefs, who are giving up the 9th overall pick, 3rd round pick, and a 5th round pick, 3 picks to go up to number 6. The Chiefs need defensive help. They need help along the pass rush. They need help in the secondary. We'll see how it works out here, but Kansas City has made the first
Giants still have the middle linebacker from the Colts too. What's his name? Yeah, he was so good early in his career.
What are we looking at there? Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State.
Can I think of his name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
So we'll see if Tyson is the player. We'll find out momentarily. Again, the Kansas City Chiefs not accustomed to choosing this high in the draft. Here
Yeah, where is he? He's not on here.
To make the
They have Tremaine Edmonds
at number 6.
Oh, here's the pick. 1 sec.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mansour Delane.
Wow. So, I mean, makes sense for them, right? They trade away Trent McDuffie. They might have felt like they needed to get ahead of New Orleans to get a corner. New Orleans might have needed one. Washington, I just feel like Washington's a Sonny Styles team. I feel like this is where Sonny Styles starts to come off the board for Washington. That's great value for them.
So they had a need at this position. Mansour Delane, a unanimous All-American in his only season at LSU, transferred after 3 years at Virginia Tech.
No doubt. And when he got to LSU, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, can he play man coverage? Can you line up?
Yeah, I mean, Mansour Delane, I mocked him at 9 all the time to the Chiefs. You know, they need corner help. They got rid of McDuffie. He's physical. He's plays sticky in man coverage. Makes so much sense for them, especially with what they did.
He doesn't do that. So when you look at Mansour Delane, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a guy that's very patient that can play man coverage. He's very patient and can play off zone coverage. And when the ball is in the air, he understands how to go attack the ball, and he doesn't get graphic. That's something that a lot of college corners do. They get very graphic. He doesn't do that, and he catches the football, which means he can turn the football over for your team. You talk to defensive back coach Corey Raymond, and he's had some great ones down there. Morris Claiborne, Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu. He's right in that same elk, Mel, with all those guys.
Came out of Archbishop Spalding High School, right? Watch him play high school football. To see him get to this point, the way he talked about it. Virginia Tech, inconsistent. Made some big plays with interceptions, gave up some. At LSU this year, started off the Clemson game, he had an interception, had a couple pass breaks.
Yeah, so in most of my mocks, how I would mock it was 6 would be offensive tackle or Carnell Tate. Now, Carnell Tate was not on the board for the Browns, but when they sticked in my mocks, I had him taking Carnell Tate or Francis Maury-Noga. And then I had Sonny Styles 7 to Washington, Ruben Bain 8. So what's interesting about this is, why did Kansas City feel the need to come up? They obviously felt like they had to come up those extra 2 picks and jump Washington and New Orleans to get Mansour Delane. I thought he would be available at 9 all the time. Like I thought that he would be there easily. I thought there was a chance that Caleb Downs is, which it's still looking like there is. But I did not think that Mansour Delane would come off the board before Caleb Downs. So that's crazy. Why are there no good quarterbacks this year? Usually at least 3 good quarterbacks are gone by now. It's just a weaker class. Dante Moore ended up not declaring. Arch Manning didn't have the year that everyone thought that he could have. Trinidad Chambliss was a guy that, you know, might have gotten taken over Ty Simpson, but he also kind of did not have, or he actually got another year of eligibility back. And so maybe just not quite the, you know, class that we see. Next year could be fun. There's, you know, potential for next year's class to be pretty good.
They said they just wanted to keep it quiet and make that sneak move, and they made the best move in the draft. So I'm excited.
He's confident.
You were once a little boy dreaming of this very night where you would become an NFL player. What would that little boy say now?
Man, don't stop now. Don't stop now. You got what you dreamed of, but man, let's make a mark on this league.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just called the interviewer yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, and then had to correct himself. That's funny.
Quicker this season because there's only 8 minutes rather than 10 between these picks. And Mel, the
Yeah, this has got good pace. Like, it's enough to talk about the picks and stuff, but it's also moving.
Fred Warner comparison. Who had Fred Warner? Adam Peters did. Who's the general manager of the Washington Commanders? It's Adam Peters. Who was the cop? Fred Warner. You got Sonny Styles for the Washington Commanders. In a division with those quarterbacks, you got to chase. Sonny Styles can do it. He can spy. He can get to the quarterback like a cat.
It's a name that perhaps we had expected to go a little sooner than this. He had one of the truly great showings in the history of the Combine about 6 weeks ago. So that certainly feels like a possibility here. Many had projected that Jeremiah Love might fall all this way. I'd seen him projected to the Commanders multiple times. Here comes the commissioner with a pair of Hall of Famers on either side to announce the 7th pick in this year's draft.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is awarded to one player each year and celebrates their profound impact on and off the field. I'm joined on stage by former winners Lynn Swann and Jerome Bettis. And the league welcomed its newest member to the prestigious club 2 months ago, Super Bowl champion and 6-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner. Way to go, Bobby. On behalf of the Payton family and Nationwide, I encourage players drafted this week to make their community and the league a better place. You want to go for it, or you want me? With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
That makes too much sense for them. That's great. That's a great pick for them at 7.
Now, this is the first time that Ohio State has had 3 players selected in the first 7 overall. Sonny Styles, Lewis, you talked about him earlier, played safety his first 2 seasons in Columbus, switched to linebacker, just got better and better at 174 tackles in 2 years, 7 sacks, and an interception. First team All-American last season.
He's another guy whose career is just on a rocket ride right now, Greeny, as far as his development. Very similar.
So now, New Orleans, listen, they need a receiver, but I think that this pick, if the pick is already in, I mocked Ruben Bain all the time, so I'm going to stick to my guns. I think it's Ruben Bain. I would not be shocked if they wanted to get like a Jordan Tyson, because I think Jordan Tyson might be the pick, especially with Carnell Tate off the board, for the Giants at 10. So do they feel like that? They could take Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is the best player still available on my board. He's my 3rd best player. They could easily take him there. I do feel like this is Ruben Bain, though. They need edge rusher. It's just if they want to go BPA and stuff.
That's going to be no problem for him. He's going to chase ball carriers down.
Yeah, I have Tyson over Mekhi Lemon by a mile, too, if healthy, right? You know, obviously, you know, this is assuming everyone's healthy and he's had a lot of injury histories, but Jordan Tyson has crazy potential, too. Him and Carnell Tate are definitely the 2 best, in my opinions, in the draft. And then, you know, Mekhi Lemon will be a really solid option, too.
Mexico transitioned into being one of the great linebackers with his height, his weight, his speed, and then eventually his physicality. That's what Sonny Styles is going to be. And here's the topper. This kid has no chinks in his armor when you're talking about football character. He is the creme de la creme when it comes to football character. He will be the face of that franchise along with Jaden Daniels.
When you have a guy long, a lot of the coaches talk to me about him and Pat Kirby, but his wingspan is so big. You got to fit the ball over a guy that's 6'4" with over an 80-inch wingspan. Nowadays, with so much zone coverage and so much too high safety, now you have another guy in the middle of the field that can take up a ton of space, Mel.
He was Sonny Styles. He cut down dramatically on the missed tackles. He transitioned safety to linebacker off ball. 2024, a lot of missed tackles. 2025, very few. He actually had 13 more tackles for overall recent. As far as the sack number, he got after the quarterback in his first year at off ball, had 6 sacks in 2024. He had 2 in the playoffs, 1 against Texas and 1 at Notre Dame. Now, he only had 1 sack this past season. He showed 2 years ago he could give you that pass rush. He is a tremendously talented player with so many first with a mobile, athletic quarterback. This kid can track you down. Take it, the fourth best player, in my opinion, the seventh pick. Great choice for Washington.
Of course, his dad, Lorenzo Styles, was also a great player at Ohio State. Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura and Sonny Styles.
Sonny, we saw your smile.
Yeah, that's a great pick for them. They need that, and Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded head coach, and so reshaping that offense. So now, again, I know we've talked about it. I know that Best Kept said Styles, Bain. So Styles just went. So Bain, is what you're picking here. Caleb Downs going to Cleveland would be interesting, and then Mekhi Lemon to the Giants. I think that the Giants are going to prefer Tyson over Lemon. They seem to have done so much work on him. I think that he pairs so well next to Malik Neighbors. I think that would be a great fit. Now, I think it's receiver. Also, if Caleb Downs gets there, because Cleveland could look at Maui Noga. I think that an offensive lineman is very in play for Cleveland at pick 9, trading down. I think they could have taken one at pick 6, and so trading down, now they could take Francis Maui Noga, plus they got the extra pick, so that would be really interesting. But the Giants might walk out here with Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, which would be my number 1 and number 3 players, and they got them at 5 and 10. That would be a heck of a draft haul for them if that's how it is.
Is a New York Giants. Sonny Styles is a Washington Commander. The Saints, and then the Browns, and then the Giants again will select next. You're watching the 91st NFL Draft from Pittsburgh on ESPN.
Hey, Fernando.
Hi, how you doing?
Really good. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
We're here with Fernando Mendoza. You just got the call. Tell me what it feels like to be officially drafted.
It is such a blessing. And, oh, sorry, 1 second. I need to post on LinkedIn.
This commercial is actually really funny, the Fernando Mendoza one.
Boom, posted. Now it's official. Anyways, to answer your question.
That's great marketing by LinkedIn, not gonna lie. Like all the stuff that he's been saying, that's there. So
Why not take all? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I won't lose them. So why not take all of me?
I wouldn't mind the Giants walking out of the draft with 2 of the top. Yes, that would be.
Surprise.
Yeah, I mean, if the Giants take them and now they're in the NFC, what is that? The NFC East. That's awesome. That's a heck of a haul for them, especially when you're looking at, hey, they traded Dexter Lawrence away, and he's an All-Pro caliber type guy, but now you're bringing in potentially 2 All-Pro caliber type guys, also in Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, if that's how they go. Now, obviously, a lot has to happen that he has to get there, but if that is the haul, that's how I see it going. I don't know. Cleveland could look to take Caleb Downs. They're obviously in Cleveland, so they're right next to Ohio State.
A group of 25 soldiers.
But I feel like them trading down
we're still serving the
was
and their families.
What
not just because
I think it's offensive line. I think they wanted offensive line. They were able to move down 3 spots, still take a guy they probably were going to take there, Francis Marianoga, especially since Carnell Tate was off the board. If Carnell Tate was on the board, I think that Cleveland would have stuck to 6 and pick. But I think, I agree with you, Boston GM. I think that O-line is where we're going to go. Unless, again, they just say, screw it, we're taking best player available, which can happen in the NFL draft. But I think that O-line is the spot I'm looking at them after they executed the trade down.
That's the point. Does this stuff work for 4 months? I'm just gonna go to the store now. There you go.
Kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months with Roundup Dual Action. Roundup, this stuff works.
We are back in Pittsburgh, and Mel's best available players
All right.
are brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy. Mel, who are they?
See where New Orleans is going to go.
Caleb Downs, what a safety he was, and certainly one of the smartest players. Nick Saban said smartest player I ever coached. Jordan Tyson, loved the kid. I think he's wide receiver 1, most talented wideout in this draft, and the 2 versatile offensive linemen. Now we know a right tackle guard, Bono, right tackle guard center, and Mekhi Lemon, boy, he plays fair. Love the kid. He also has return skills.
All right, the New Orleans Saints selection is in, and the commissioner, I am told, is making his way to the stage right now to announce it with the 8th selection in this draft. The Browns will come behind them, having traded back with Kansas City a bit earlier than the Giants. will make their second pick of the night. But here comes New Orleans and the commissioner, Roger Goodell, ready with the announcement.
Ruben Bain. That's going to be where I feel. He had to wait for the Sweet Caroline song to be over.
With the 8th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jordan Tyson.
Wow. So listen, that does not surprise me. I said they needed a receiver. That would not have surprised me right there. So that's listen, and they
Injuries are the only question.
Wow, there you go.
Ligaments in 22. The hamstring that lingered into the
Listen, I think the NFL's high on this guy. I think he has all the upside in the world. I think he might have a higher ceiling than Carnell Tate. The only hard part is he's been hurt for so long. But now you give Tyler Shuck, Jordan Tyson, Chris Olave to throw the ball to. That's really, really exciting for that group.
Number one wide receiver in this draft. You think about where he can be if he stays healthy. Got some durability issues during his career, but if he stays healthy, he can be a dynamic performer. I thought Kansas City would look at him. They pass it allows Tyler Shuck. Lewis, Tyler Shuck's the guy. Hey, about Jordan
Cleveland's pick's already in. Of course, we had this guy's elite. He's got great route running ability.
Jordan Tyson can make any catch you ask him to make. He can go high, he can go low. He's tremendous after the catch, guys. Love this football player. Hey, he had a hamstring. He tried to play through a hamstring and injured the other hamstring. Why? Because he's so competitive. What did Kenny Dillingham say? I'd have tried to protect Tyson from Tyson because he wouldn't get off the field. He didn't have a chance to wrestle. He never ran a 40 because he didn't train for it. But he worked out last week, had a great workout, and now Jordan Tyson goes to the Saints and helps that young quarterback, as they did with Cam Ward, getting Carnell Tate. You pair a young quarterback with a great receiver. That's what Jordan Tyson can be if he stays healthy.
Here's the thing I'll say about the injury is when everybody's concerned. When you play the National Football League, the injury rate is 100%. It's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when. Everybody's going to get hurt. You just hope it's not a catastrophic injury. I'm not concerned. He's the most talented wide receiver in the draft. He gives you vibes, Greeny.
It's actually really funny. You're not wrong. If they stay healthy for more than 6 games, which is about what each of them have stayed healthy for their last couple of years, it's a really good receiver duo. But yeah, they got some injury concerns in that receiver room. That's for dang sure. That's a little concerning.
Jordan Tyson, who was overcome on his way to the stage. What a moment. And what a reminder of what this night is about. Of course, it's about what the Saints are going to have in him as a football player, but it's also about the culmination of a lifetime of work. And you see it all coming out in Jordan Tyson as he made that walk.
Look, full stop. This is the best wide receiver in the draft. Look, I love Carnell Tate. We all love Carnell Tate. We all love Mekhi Lemon. We all love Denzel Boston. This guy right here is a problem. He is big. He is super, super explosive.
He's jamming. He's jamming right now to the song. I know you guys can't see that. He's jamming on stage.
He can play the Z, the X, the slot. I'm just telling you now. Him, Chris Olave, Travis Etienne, Tyler Shuck is sitting there going, oh, yeah, buddy. We're on. Here comes the Saints now. This is a nice draft pick. Kellen Moore's got to be ecstatic that this kid is sitting there for them to pick.
And here's the thing about it, Greeny. You see that emotion? Because all through the draft process, all we kept saying, he's injury prone. Everybody tried to knock this young man down because of the injury. So that emotion coming out is somebody believed in him when everybody doing the process says they weren't. And I love that for him.
Let's hear from him. Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with Jordan Tyson.
Jordan, you're out here singing. We saw you overcome with emotion as you were making the walk. What were you thinking in those moments?
I'm just so thankful, so blessed. The Lord's doing work on me. He's not done. We're just going to keep this thing rolling. I'm going to give him my all, and that's all I can do.
What can you say to those out there?
Patriots fans, we didn't want him anyways. He was like to kill Harry, right? Just because he wears the same helmet as him. Denzel Boston's like Jalen Polk. I always like trolling Patriots fans about that helmet scouting.
You got it. You strong. I promise you, you're so strong. Just keep going. You got it.
Congratulations.
What a moment. Booger, as you were pointing out, the number of times over the last year or so, he must have wondered if this moment would ever come.
Well, no doubt, Greeny. And everyone throughout the process, we knew about the talent, but we just kept talking about the negativity, the injuries. Is he going to be healthy? He missed 1 out of every 3 games. that young man heard that. And now the emotion you see coming out is well-deserved by him.
So the booing that you hear behind us is because the Cleveland Browns pick is in, and that, of course, is the arch rival of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mello, we have 30 seconds. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I don't want any wide receivers to pass the draft that position, Bill or no Bill. I don't know. We'll see. They got to be able to draft. They got to be able to draft a receiver at some point. So hopefully they trade for AJ Brown. Could they pair Bane and Myles Garrett? They easily could. I think that maybe some of the measurements worry teams about Ruben Bane. Just you have not seen a defensive end with that type of arm length and stuff. So it'll be interesting. He's best player on the board by far. Well, actually, Caleb Downs, sorry. But best, we'll see. I think this is O-line, though. But again, the draft has not gone any way that we've thought so far.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Spencer Fano. There you go. So first O lineman off the board. Spencer Fano got great versatility. He can play both inside and out. Can play tackle, has a little bit shorter arm length. So if you need to move him, he can play all 5 positions. He can play at guard. He can move into center. So that's fun.
A unanimous All-American last year, the Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year, and Melly won the Outland Trophy as the best lineman in the country.
Played 11 games at left tackle in 2023, plugged in 1 game at right tackle. Then he became the right tackle with Caleb Lomu the last few years was the left tackle. So for a guy like Spencer Fano, this offense got it done. They ran the ball down people's throats. They were a balanced offense. Fano had a lot to do with that. He gets after it in the
I actually saw Spencer Fano like a week ago. He was training at the University of Utah's facility. I was down there for some professional development and a coaching career. But he's a big dude. I mean, I know he has short arms, but like broad shoulders, thick lower legs. He's stout as hell. So listen, I think guys like him because he can play all 5 positions. Like if you want to keep him at tackle, go ahead. If you think he's a center, go ahead. He'd be a dang good one. He's so athletic. He'd be a great guard too. I felt like Cleveland needed more tackle help, but they also were tied to him or Fano and Malinoga. So maybe they are just looking for best offensive lineman available. Listen, I think the Giants right here walk away with Caleb Downs. I think that with Tyson off the board, Carnell Tate off the board, they're sitting here unless they feel like they need offensive line and Francis Malinoga. But I think this is Caleb Downs.
10th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Francis.
Wow, so they did go O-line. There you go. Caleb Downs. Listen, Miami's going to get him, and that sucks for the Patriots, but this is great for Miami. Miami needs they need a safety, and Caleb Downs is the 3rd best player on my board. They're going to get him. He's going to be stuck in the AFC East. They could also go edge rusher from someone right down the street in Ruben Bane, but Miami, they have 2 options here of top 6 players on my big board. Ruben Bane at 6 or Caleb Downs at 3, and both of those are freaking great right there. So, yeah, I wish we could trade up for Caleb Downs, but I don't think that you're going to be able to trade up for Caleb Downs at this point. Like, you're not trading with Miami, that's for sure. So if they take him here, it's off the board. So that's crazy. Bane doesn't really play much with his arms, so he might have in the NFL, but he has grades. That's the hard part is that he's going to need to he's going to have to play in the run a lot more than what he was asked to do in Miami. Like he's going to have to hold. Oh, trade alert. We got to trade. Sorry, one sec.
And if he struggles down the line, then you kick him inside the guard. But Francis Malinoa, CT Malinoa came a long way.
Dallas moved up 1 pick.
The back injury.
For Caleb Downs. They moved up 1 pick for Caleb Downs.
But he was projected to go in this general area. So the back injury really didn't push him down the board at all.
Dallas moves up 1 pick. It's got to be for Downs. They probably felt like, who else would Dallas want to trade up for? Who on the board? Bane. It could be Bane. It could be Bane or Downs. Dallas needs a little bit of both.
And how he elevates all the players around him. And when Miami had to have it, that's who they were running behind, big number 61. So John Harbaugh knows. He knows Jackson Dart has to stay healthy. Quarterback stats aren't just an offensive line stat. They're also a quarterback stat. But they need to be firmer up front. They need to settle on a group of 5. He needs to be one of the people who leads the charge. This is a foundational building block about look, you want to build it front to back, inside out. Right? Here it is. This is how you do it.
And if you look at what the Giants have done, talk about building it front to back. Arvell Reese, CC Malinoa. up front. Guys that can affect the ball in the front seven on defense and from an offensive line stand. This is a powerful player. You're talking about moving men.
This is an interesting
the
little
most powerful offensive tackle in the draft. He could kick inside the guard, but I think he's the right tackle all day.
This is interesting, a little one-pick swap. So whoever they take here, they felt like was going to get drafted by Miami. So, they had to make that
Certainly
pick.
Sounds like a John Harbaugh kind of team, doesn't it? Making those decisions on the offensive line. It's a new era for the New York Giants, and they are building it on the line of scrimmage. Perhaps no big surprise there. I'm told, by the way, the Dallas Cowboys have traded up into the next spot, so they'll be making the next selection. But before we do that, we do this. Marriott Bonvoy, Laura, standing by with Francis Mauinoa.
CC, what do you want to tell Jackson Dart about how you'll help protect him on this Giants O-line?
I'll die about this shit, man.
Oh, yeah, taking out. Yep, nice. Taking Will Campbell's thing. Good job, Francis Marinoga. That ain't working. No, that's a Patriots guy. I will fight. No, take that shit out of here.
Family, and even growing up there, you had to create your own football gear. There's a lot of kids that you're a role model for. They're watching tonight. What's your message to them?
Hey, man. Born and raised in America, so I want, man. Never thought I could be here, man. If I could do it, you can do it. Simple as that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
CC Mauinoa is a New York Giant, and there is the jacket that Laura
Yeah, I agree with you. I
referenced.
think it's Caleb Downs here. At least that's who I'd
American
go with.
Samoa. So the New York Giants again building it from the line of scrimmage. That's Arvell Reese and Francis Mauinoa. They're both headed to the Giants. And the Dallas Cowboys have moved up. They will select next as the NFL draft continues from Pittsburgh in just a moment.
So Dolphins get 12. Oh, shoot, I missed that. It was like 12, 177, and 180. So they get 2 6-round picks for moving up. Sorry, I'll turn this down a little. They get 2 6-round picks for moving up or moving down just one spot, 2 extra 6.
Designed for durability that's guaranteed.
Yeah, I would not have expected Caleb Downs to follow the top 10. I would have thought that he would have for sure gone, in the top 10, at least to the Giants at 10. But safety, maybe people aren't viewing it as that big of a position of, importance. So
this one has craft ice on demand.
More ice than me?
4 kinds of ice, actually.
Gonna need a bigger bucket. Like this one?
Do you always have 2 bucket chains?
I do.
Eczema is unpredictable, but you can flare less with Ebglyss. A once-monthly treatment for moderate to severe eczema that helps you spend less time managing your symptoms.
Ebglyss can deliver real and lasting results, like skin that's still more clear at 1 year. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe.
trying to look at my board. I mean, Fano came off 13 for me. So, guys that are still obviously Ruben Baines at 6 on my big board, Caleb Downs at 3. That's where I think Caleb Downs goes right here. And then Miami, do they just go with Ruben Bain? Someone right down the street gives them an edge rusher help, especially after they lost Jalen Phillips, a couple other guys.
Mortal Kombat begins now.
Bain drops to 31. What the heck? What insider tweeted that? Let me know.
For the fate of your world.
But he fought. He was playing on a torn MCL too. I mean, a torn MCL, I don't think anyone's stopping freaking Will Anderson. It's hard enough to stop Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter.
Maybe don't lose.
Who else they played? Nick Bonito. Like, it's hard enough to stop those guys fully healthy, especially as a rookie, let alone with a torn MCL. That's tough.
Let's go.
So, he'll get better. He'll get better.
Let's go. It's a thing.
There's dedicated RV parking around the back.
No, we're not leaving a note. It's okay. You don't need a ticket. There's no one waiting.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
Technically, these onions count as one item.
You're literally the only one who cares.
Yep.
You said the Whopper is the best burger in America when made right. So with your feedback, we've perfected every bite so that every Whopper is made your way and never smashed. Because there's a new king, and it's you.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh and the 2026 NFL Draft on ESPN, which is presented by Bud Light. And leading up to this night, there'd been a great deal of speculation: would the Dallas Cowboys move up? Well, the answer turns out to be yes. They move up one spot. You see the compensation that they offered to the Miami Dolphins to move up to this one spot. So obviously a player the Cowboys identified that they could absolutely not afford to pass up on, and we'll find out who that player is. Here comes the commissioner.
This is really good value for Dallas if it is Caleb Downs. This is really good value for them right here.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, defensive back, Ohio State.
Wow.
Another
Makes me a little
Ohio
jealous
State star.
going to freaking
He actually
Dallas.
was the SEC freshman
I
of
just
the
don't
year
like
at
Dallas in
Alabama
general. I know they're in the
2023.
NFC. I just don't like Dallas.
Transferred
But
when Nick Saban
that's good.
retired,
It's good for
off
them.
to Ohio State, where he was a unanimous All-American.
So Miami here, Miami could be looking offensive lineman, but I just don't feel like there's an offensive lineman. They could, Miami could go Vega Ioane. Vega Ioane, they need interior help. He's been mocked early before, most of the time around like 14, where they're looking to like Baltimore needs one. So excuse me, sorry about that. I do think Vega Ioane out of Penn State is in play here. I obviously think Ruben Bain is in play here, right down the road from them in the University of Miami. Would they reach for Monroe Freeling? Monroe Freeling's a guy that, you know, has high upside at tackle. Trying to think of who else. I don't really see anyone else that I would say I think if I had to put money on it, it's Vega Ioane or Ruben Bain. That would be my guesses here for them.
You will ever find, please say he is an alpha. I thought even a 2 from the Jets would make sense because he will change the culture, and nobody on defense needs more than that for the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, coaches always talk about, I can coach you up, but you got to go on the field and play. When you send him on the field, you have a coach on the field. He's got high-level instincts, and what does that mean? That means you don't have to tell him where the play's coming. He can feel it out. He's seen enough football. He can get guys lined up. When you look at a Cowboy defense that needs to get better in a lot of areas, you're going to have your coach in the back end.
Or, oh, this is actually interesting. I need to throw one more. I do need to throw Mekhi Lemon into this mix. Vega Ioane, Mekhi Lemon, Ruben Bain. Those are the three that I think are in play here for Miami. I do think Miami could look to replace Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle with Mekhi Lemon. So that's it. Yep, there you go.
Not only did they get beat
Miami took Kenneth Grant in the first round. Did they have two? I don't think they did.
Having played at Alabama for Nick and having played now at Ohio State, where he was at, without a doubt, him and Sonny and Arbel.
Yeah, so they took Kenneth Grant in the first, Jonas Savanaia in the second.
And new defensive coordinator Christian Parker is going to say, "Hey, look."
They didn't have a 5th round pick. They took another D tackle, Jordan Phillips. Yeah, they didn't take an edge, and they lost Jalen Phillips this year. So Ruben Bain, I will throw in Mekhi Lemon there, and Vega Ioane I think is a wild card here if they need interior line help.
Once he put his hands on him, and that's what he's going to need to do too. Turn that football over.
According to ESPN's draft predictor, there was only a 12% chance that Caleb Downs would be available at number 11. So the Cowboys may have gotten themselves a steal here. And Caleb Downs is standing by now with Laura. Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to the stage. Laura.
Caleb, you're celebrating this. You're taking it all in. And just moments ago, you were on the phone with Jerry Jones. What did he tell you about the Cowboys' plans to use you?
First of all, I just want to say thank God. Without that, none of us would be here. I just thanks for my Savior, Jesus Christ. But it was a great conversation. I honestly couldn't hear much. I was too excited to listen. So I'm just excited to do what I can do and be committed to the team.
We'll ask Jerry later what he said. Now, your brother Josh is a wide receiver for the Colts. Your dad, Gary, a running back in the NFL. How special is it for your family that you now get to carry on this legacy?
That's an awesome feeling. Honestly, God's blessed us with a lot of favor to be in this situation. And I'm so thankful to be here. And our family, I can't even say enough words about them. There's a lot of love there.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
So Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. The Miami Dolphins up next. Mel, it's reasonable to say they need
who or where?
30 seconds.
I don't know who he was traded for, but I thought he went to
feeling.
Jacksonville?
Two offensive linemen I was talking about from Cleveland Browns still on the board. They could go any direction.
I thought it was Jacksonville. I don't know who he was traded for, though. I do not know who was involved in that trade.
Proctor and Freeling both available for the Dolphins.
So a new era in Miami, new coaching staff, new leadership, new quarterback, new opportunities, and let's see which player they've chosen as their first pick tonight. Here comes Roger Goodell, pick number 12 tonight for the Dolphins.
All right, here we go. Interesting pick here. I think there's 3 guys that I mentioned.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Caden Proctor.
Wow.
Tackle, Alabama.
Wow, that's way higher than I would have had him. I have Caden Proctor at 28 on my big board. Now, another guy that's a massive human being. Like, he is huge. But I feel like if you're looking for a tackle, I'm taking Monroe Freeling, who's still on the board. I'm taking... no, I'm probably not taking Blake Miller or Hanachor. But then if I'm looking interior line, I'm looking at Vega Ioane. That's interesting. That's interesting, especially with the guys at the other positions that I mentioned. So that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't think that he would go that early. He falls down all the time. Like, he's always on the ground. I do agree with that.
He had all kinds of problems in that game. He got better as the season went along. I think he qualified somewhat as an underachiever. For all that talent, you got to dominate in college. Caden Proctor can be as good as Caden Proctor wants to be. If he wants to be a great player in the NFL, he has that
So Rams.
that guy. But at Alabama, there was
I mock Mekhi Lemon here so much. I would be shocked if it wasn't Mekhi Lemon.
Inferior players beat him. Focus issues in terms of penalties. He's got to figure all that out and become more consistent.
Who else with the Rams?
And some of that has to do with his weight. He's got to make sure that he keeps his weight down because when he's in shape,
People mock Sadiq to the Rams. I don't see that. I don't see them needing. They have so many tight ends. I know they don't have like elite tight ends, but like between Ferguson, who they took last year, and
is he going to be motivated?
oh, who else do they have? Why can't I think of?
We can play left tackle.
I'm drawing a blank. I can picture him, but like I feel like this is a Mekhi Lemon type pick here for the Rams.
Betting on the football character developing to the point where he's a self-starter, right? That you don't have to sit there and you don't have to babysit him all the time and say, hey, look, hey, Caden, it's in your best interest.
Bane is falling. Bane is definitely falling, Boston GM. His measurements were not good. They were like alarmingly concerning. Now, I bought into the tape. I still think the tape's really good. I think he can be a really good NFL player, but I think the measurements are scaring a lot of teams because statistically, you just don't see success from a guy that has that type of measurements, especially a top 10 pick there. Like, it's hard. Higbee, there it is. Thank you. Yep, Tyler Higbee. I was like, I know I can picture who they have there.
Such that he will keep his weight at a manageable level to where he can dominate. Because the only reason why he doesn't dominate in the NFL is because of himself. Yeah. Because if he's on, it's over. This dude is a problem.
You see the emotion in his face as he made his way down there.
I will say the 8-minute clock has definitely sped it up, but it's almost still the same because they're not getting like the player on the stage and stuff. Like, the pick is in for a good 4 or 5 minutes before they actually like make the announcement. So it's a little weird.
The emotion that you experience with your family, what is this moment like for you and letting some of that emotion out?
It's just so surreal, honestly, like having my people around me, you know, they experiencing this shit for the first time. I just don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. You know, I just appreciate the Dolphins for giving me an opportunity to go down there and play. Man, I'm finna go play my ass. I promise you that.
Well, I hope you would say that.
The O-linemen are the best athletes on the field. Are you going to be campaigning to be catching some passes, maybe running the ball a little bit?
Yeah.
Out there?
Oh, for sure.
Hey, I'm not great at spelling either, so don't you worry. I could make out what it was. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Caden Proctor off the board. The LA Rams are on the clock. Ty Simpson is in the green room. Waiting to hear his
if this is Ty Simpson, I'd be shocked. Like, I know people say that. I would never do that, especially the Rams. They are going for a Super Bowl this year. Ty Simpson doesn't help you win a Super Bowl this year. If you really want to take a quarterback, you can probably find a better prospect next year, in my opinion. Like, I'm not high on Ty Simpson. I'm not high on him. So I really, for the Rams' sake, I guess for Patriots fans' sake, I hope they take him because he doesn't help them, but I don't.
Cardio ruins muscle gain.
Hey, standing ruins your knees.
Sleep is overrated.
Sitting is hard on your hips.
You installed this?
Even had a few screws left over.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising.
Bruins down 1. Okay. Buffalo giving them a little run for their money at home, trying to get home ice advantage back. They got to take one at least so they can go back to Buffalo.
We already started, son.
Celtics aren't playing tonight, are they? I think it's opposite now. It was like the same days on the first week and stuff. I'm West Coast. I'm in Utah. So Jazz, they're obviously out of it. Mammoth, they're in it, but I haven't been watching any NBA playoffs with the Jazz out of it. So Stafford isn't going anywhere this year. I'd look at a Q. Yeah, like if they really want a quarterback, they could take Nussmeier or Aller or someone. Or like I said, like if they feel like they need it, just take them next year in the first round. Like I don't get the Tyson's. I don't think it would be that. It would actually shock me. I know a lot of people are saying it. I just am not buying it. So Celtics do play tomorrow. Okay.
You wrote a monster movie?
Eureka! I know the perfect monsters for your movie.
Quick question. I want to eat one of these funny-looking yellow guys first. Is that okay?
Been a fun draft so far, though. Let me tell you that. Like, it's been a little bit unpredictable. Like, there's been guys like Ruben Bain falling, Caleb Downs falling, Arvell Reese fell a little bit. There've been some surprise picks. Like, it's been a fun draft. It's hasn't gone the way I think a lot of people thought. It never does, right? The draft never does. But
10,000 U.S. Resi restaurants. A card that unlocks unique experiences worldwide. For nights you'll talk about forever. And there's nothing like Platinum, official payments partner of the NFL.
Ooh. With the 61st pick of the Super Bowl, the NFL selects ESPN.
This season is going to be epic.
I understand drafting a quarterback to sit behind a Stafford and learn some more. All right. I do. Listen, I get that point, but I just feel like the Rams, they might still be the best team in the NFL, even like if they take Ty Simpson here. But I'm not high on Ty Simpson as a prospect. If it was a better prospect, I would like it more. I'm just not high on Ty Simpson as an actual prospect. So if they think that they can develop him for 2 or 3 years, then for sure do it. But I think they would much rather have a Super Bowl window for the next 2 years with Stafford, or at least I would as a fan, than Ty Simpson. I also feel like Sean McVay he's a quarterback whisperer, and so he can find other guys that he likes.
To go back to the offensive side of the football, Greeny. All right, Chef D, thank you. There's a team, of course, that was on the doorstep of the Super Bowl a year ago. We'll see.
I'd go Bain or Lemon. Yeah, I'd probably go Mekhi Lemon, honestly. They do need a little bit of O-line help.
The New York Jets will make their second selection of the night, but it's the Rams who are on the clock here at 13, and here comes the commissioner with the announcement.
Boss GM.
13th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Ty Simpson.
Wow. Listen, I said my piece on it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't love it. I don't love Ty Simpson as a prospect. I don't. I think he's far away, but this gives him an opportunity to sit behind Stafford and learn and get with Sean McVay. But it's just so hard for me. The Rams got gifted this pick because they traded James Pierce, or they traded away the pick last year that Atlanta took James Pierce for. They have a Super Bowl window. I don't know, man. You can make a pick right here, and you're probably going to be the Super Bowl favorite going into next year. So, yeah. Wow. Ty Simpson came in at, I got to scroll. He was 49 on my big board. Like I said, like quarterback. It's just lack of experience. But again, this is the situation you would want him to go to. This is a situation you would want him to go to. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it.
Since 2006.
We thought when the Rams traded 29 to the Chiefs, right? We thought that trade at 29 was going to take Ty Simpson to put him in a spot where maybe Arizona would have to trade in because the Rams aren't going to take him at 13. Well, the Rams took him at 13. Why would you do that when you're built for now with Matthew Stafford? Because they want the heir apparent, obviously, and Ty Simpson. This is a kid up till mid-November, Lou, was at 21 touchdowns and 1 pick. Then he said he got hurt. He was beat up. Then he had 5 straight games with a fumble loss. Then he had a fumble loss in the playoffs as well, right? But he wasn't 100%, he said. He should get a little bigger, a little stronger. To me, Ty Simpson, they're hoping, is the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford.
Look, there's a reason why, and I tried to say this, and there were people who were all over me on social. Look, there's a reason why this young man decided to come out. Him and his inner circle decided to come out.
Yeah, this affects the Patriots, not directly, right? But there were talks that teams wanted to move back into the late half of the first round for Ty Simpson. The Cardinals were one of those teams, possibly the Jets. And so this takes away a potential trade-out partner or a trade-out spot just because Ty Simpson's now off the board. He won't be there in the late 20s, early 30s. So that takes, a little bit of that affects the Patriots in a way.
He fits perfectly. His tape, you cannot deny. You can go ahead and bang on him for the fact that, you know what, his resume is not that long, but his play this year, he showed some high-level quarterback play. Sean McVay must have saw the same thing, and now he gets to learn from one of the very best to do it in Matthew Stafford.
He showed high-level quarterback play. The 15 starts concern me. I don't think there's a track record for guys that started 15 games. And then on top of that, Mel, think about this. How does this help the Rams this year? They were arguably the best team in football last year. Matthew Stafford is coming back. This does not help them win this season.
It helps Ty Simpson, though. 15 starts is a risky number. He's got to sit and watch and learn. He can't be forced in there. The Rams are a team ready to win a Super Bowl. Watch Matthew Stafford. Learn from Matthew Stafford. 15 starts is risky. Now he has a chance.
Wow.
Laura and Ty Simpson.
Listen, if I could hand pick a situation for a quarterback on a short list, LA's at the top with Sean McVay sitting behind Matthew Stafford. But the situation that the Rams are in right now, their roster, how good they are, I agree with what Mel Kiper was just saying. Like, I find it hard to believe that, like, I know they are stacked at receivers, but Mekhi Lemon, like someone there, Ruben Bain off the edge, getting to the quarterback.
Now you're going to play.
It's an interesting pick for sure. It's an interesting pick for sure.
You ran at Alabama. What are you most excited about in learning from Sean McVay and quarterback Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, I mean, two of the greatest minds in offense, especially with Coach McVay and the quarterback. Offensive.
I think Baltimore is in need of an edge rusher. Sadiq is an option, but I think Baltimore is in need of an edge rusher. They might have got lucked into Ruben Bain. There's been times where I've mocked Vega Ioane here too. They need interior line help. I like the Spencer Fano fit too because he could slide in. So Sadiq, Vega Ioane, and Ruben Bain are probably the guys that I would bet on for the Ravens here.
Go get a quarterback. They were so convinced of their decision that earlier today they called their veteran quarterback Matthew Stafford and told him that they planned to take Ty Simpson tonight at 13. This was a pick that the Rams got from the Falcons. And think about this. When the Atlanta Falcons chose Michael Penix, they did not give Kirk Cousins a heads up.
Isaiah Likely's on the Giants. He followed Harbaugh over to the Giants.
Send it over to the commissioner for the very next pick in the draft, Greeny.
All right, Shefty, that pick belongs to the Ravens, another team in transition. So many years, John Harbaugh, the coach there. Harbaugh has already made 2 selections tonight with the Giants, and now the Ravens will make their first of the night at number 14. And here indeed is Roger Goodell with the announcement for Baltimore.
With the 14th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Olai Vavenga.
There you go. That's a great pick for them. They need interior line help. I like the Spencer Fano fit a lot for them because I felt like he could slide inside. That's the best interior offensive line in this class, straight up pure offensive lineman. Again, Boston GM with the $2. Appreciate that. Vega Ioane right there that's a great pick for them. That is a huge steal for them right there at pick 14. I had him at 19 on my big board, but like the fit and what they need in the interior is so big, especially because they lost Tyler Linderbaum. I know he's a center, but they lost him in free agency.
Last year, it impacted the center, Linderbaum, and impacted the right tackle, Rosengart. He stepped back a little bit, regressed a little bit in year 2. Bango Iwane is the best pure guard in this draft. He's plug and play. He's not going to be a right tackle. He's not going to be. He's a guard. He solidifies an area, like I said, that they were woefully lacking consistent performance, any performance at all.
So Bucks, this is where I think the Bucks could look at. No, the Bucks need edge rusher too. They need Ruben Bain fits there too, also, but he keeps falling. Sadiq's in play here. They need a tight end. They need pass catchers in general.
Anchors really well. He neutralized the charge of power rushers on a consistent basis. He brings an attitude as well. He plays fierce. He started a ton of games. You talk about a guy who's a veteran of the collegiate wars and played at a super high level. And he is like,
yeah, his Boston Jim, his floor is so high. Like this is a day one starter for the Ravens.
Safest picks in the draft. The
Just
Rams making one of the most surprising. Ty Simpson goes off the board at lucky number 13. The Buccaneers and the Jets are on the way. It's the draft on ESPN.
Things are getting interesting. Things are getting interesting. Guys, as we take a little bit of a break here, if you guys have not already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the video. If you guys have any comments, go ahead, throw them in there. I love answering on my, like I said, I'm not trying to be, dead air, but I don't want to talk. I will have Cole joining me in a little bit. He said he'd probably join halfway through the draft, so he'll probably be jumping on here in a little bit as we get a little closer to the Patriots pick. This has good pace, though. This is going along really well with the 8-minute timers instead of the 10-minute ones. So this has been good.
Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
What sounds more urgent to you? We are stranded, or help, arm wedged in boulder, exclamation.
Tom, please eat this. You're indecisive when you're hungry.
Oh, God. I hit send, though, I think.
Music is not.
I agree, Boston GM. I think Bain makes sense here. They need edge if they are just worried.
There's no one like you.
Could go with like a Keldrick Falk edge rusher.
Nationwide could be a great insurance and financial services company. What's stopping you from being so much more than one thing? And that question is what inspired me to create the Motivating Method. All right, y'all ready? Let's hear it now. Motivate others through insurance and financial services. I get emotional saying it. Via acronyms that include Nationwide. Mic drop. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Ooh, look at those pork chops with Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. Yes, please.
Mekhi Lemon falling to the Jets at 16 might be their dream also.
Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious.
At 16, sorry.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello. Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Lowe's knows tackling projects now means you can football Sunday.
He needs to up his ground game.
Well, we can measure it.
Measure?
Lowe's can measure and install it for you.
You can't measure passion, right, Jim? Stop trying to work the crew. This is Jim, one of the greats, and handsome.
When everything on the IHOP value menu is just $6, you can go all out. Because eggs, bacon, and fluffy pancakes are just $6 every day. And OMG, there's a new BLT. And it comes with fries. Celebrate every day for just $6 with the IHOP value menu.
A Chewy order is on the way for Woody, who likes his stick, but loves his Pro Plan.
All right, boys, I'm going to step away real quick. I got to plug my computer on my laptop in. I'm going to step away, plug that in, and move some stuff around. So I'll be back before the Bucks pick is in, though. Don't you worry.
And in this rivalry, every possession is personal.
For the third time in 4 years, we got Denver and Minnesota.
For Jokic, the chance at revenge. For Ant, the opportunity to upset.
Anthony Edwards writing his own story.
Emotions are high.
This is a real rivalry.
The stakes higher. Game 4, Nuggets, Timberwolves. Saturday on ABC and the ESPN app.
Welcome back to ESPN coverage of the NFL Draft. Our aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Legends on its floor. They are proven. We have made 14 picks in this draft. Let's look at Mel's best available, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. Now,
Start out with Makai Lemon, the third receiver on the board for me, 11 overall. Monroe Freely, we're talking about a super talented left tackle. I'm sure the Detroit Lions are there at 17 saying, can we just get him to fall down to us? The Lions need a guy like Monroe Freely. Kenyon Sadiq and Ruben Bain, you got to be, or believe are going to be in play.
All right,
Tampa Bay
I'm back.
Buccaneers. They need an edge rusher. They can use a tight end. Got to believe Tampa Bay goes for Bain, for Sadiq and Dillon and Thieneman. We've had him to Minnesota. We've had Harrison Smith been there for a long time, playing at a high level. We've had an heir apparent could be Dillon Thieneman, a really smart football player, went from Purdue to Oregon and didn't miss a beat.
Maybe the best defensive player all season last year was Ruben Bain, and he's still on the board for a team that needs an edge rusher.
You've been telling us for a while, Booger, in your hometown of Tampa, a lot of pressure on Todd Bowles to get that defense shored up. We'll see if that's the direction that he goes as we approach.
Trying to fix my lighting. Sorry, guys. I moved my light from one side of the room to the other, so I'm trying to make sure it's a little bit of a glare. We're good. All right, here we go. Buccaneers pick.
With the 15th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Ruben Bain Jr.
That's a crazy haul for them right there. Having him fall to 16, he stays in the Florida area, or 15, sorry, stays in the Florida area. There we go, right there.
Hurricanes all the way to the national championship game. 5 sacks in 4 playoff games. Grew up in Miami and stayed home. A consensus All-American now. He was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year last season.
We've talked about 30 3/4 arms. That's an outlier. That's somebody who's going to have to prove and beat the odds if he can get it done in the NFL. Did it in college, coached by Jason Taylor. So every technique that you need, he's got a variety of moves, getting after the quarterback. Strong hands. He takes
His suit is sweet, Boston GM. It's a good looking suit.
There was speculation he'd be in that 4.8 range. So is the lack of a great 40 time and speed.
Okay, so the Jets on the clock. I think they need a receiver. They went David Bailey in the first at pick 2. So I think Makai Lemon being here is something that they're ecstatic about. Now, I think they're gonna like Omar Cooper a lot, but not more than Makai Lemon.
There were some who thought that this might happen. Right, we talked
Trying to
about
think of who else. I think that's it. They need corners. They could take a corner, but Jamad McCoy, I know he tested well at his pro day and stuff. He's had injury concerns, hasn't played for a while. Avion Terrell, it's probably a little early for guys like that. So I'm honed in on one of the receivers, either Makai Lemon or if they wanted to, Omar Cooper. But I don't think maybe Sadiq they could. That's actually a really good point, Boston GM. They've been looking for a tight end for a while. Sadiq would be an interesting fit here because they took Mason Taylor, but Sadiq's obviously way better than Mason Taylor. So they could look at that.
We always talk about turn the tape on, watch the film. But when you watch the film, he was the most dominant defensive
arm length. Let me pull this up just so I have this is a good question. So arm length, let me pull up his exact measurements just so I can use it as a reference.
Once he does that, can he turn the corner? Can he dip his shoulder? Is his ankles flexible enough to get to the quarterback?
So for reference, Ruben Bain's arm length at the combine was 30 inches and 7/8. So how they measure that is from shoulder to the tip. Now wingspan is from tip of fingers to tip of fingers, so it helps say how broad they are. Now, why? In my opinion, arm and wing is important for guys in the trenches is because offensive linemen are ideally going to have, offensive tackles are going to have 33 plus inch arms and offensive guards are looking at 32, 31 inch. That's why Spencer Fano was a little bit thought of as more of an interior guy because when you go look at his measurements,
Ruben, you've said you can play anywhere on the line. How will your versatility
Fano came in officially at 32 and an 8, so a little bit. Now, why that's important is because when you're playing in the trenches, you got to be able to keep guys off of you. So Bain, if he has 3 inches less of arm length than an offensive tackle like Monroe Freeling, it's going to be a lot harder for him to defeat blocks. He's not going to be able to shock and shed as much because these guys they can get to him easier, get into his chest before Ruben Bain can get into them. So it affects in the run, it affects in the pass too, because you're going to have longer guys that can reach out and get you. So it's not the end all be all, but there is something to be said about short arms, especially in the trenches, especially at the DN position when you're taking on bigger, longer tackles, when you have to defeat blocks and things like that. So that's why when we talk about arm length and falling, especially on NFL like measurements and just what it usually is, that's why we talk about it being a concern. And especially in the first round, like a first round talent like Ruben Bain with 33-inch arms, he's a top 5 pick easily because, you know, he fits the measurable size, his tape was good, but the concerns, and I believe his arm length was like in like the second or third percentile of like how short it was. Like it was historically low. It wasn't just like, oh, that's small. It was historically small for the defensive end position, which is a concern. So hopefully that explains a little bit more. It's not like everyone needs to have a blank arm spread. Tackles, you're looking for 33 plus. Guards, if offensive linemen have less than 33, then you're probably looking at someone that projects better as an interior guy, a guard. But yeah, let's hear who the Jets have to pick.
With the 16th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Kenyon Sadiq.
There you go. Great call, Boston GM. That's a great call, Boston GM. They needed a pass catcher, and a lot of people assumed that it was going to be, you know, a receiver, but now you have their tight end that they've been wanting for a while. Kenyon Sadiq goes there. He's going to be, oh, look, there's Dan Lanning right by him, all the way up in Idaho. But yeah, that's a good call by you, because I didn't even think about that. I thought Lemon was for sure the one that they'd like, and I think they probably would have. I also didn't think Sadiq would be here. I thought there was a chance he fell, but I didn't think that he would potentially get down here. So yeah, no problem. I actually I coach college football, and so I do a lot of scouting, recruiting, and stuff, obviously, and then throughout the draft, and so I get to see it hand on, right? Like if you're dealing with a little bit of a shorter player, that's all fine, but you want a plus wingspan. So what I mean by that, if you have a 6'1" player, you don't want him to have a 6'1" wingspan. You want him to have a 6'4" wingspan. You want him to have a longer wingspan. Length means more than size sometimes, especially at certain positions. That's how it is at backer, in my opinion too. Like if you're 6'1", that's totally fine, but do you have the length? Can you get in passing windows? Can you get off blocks and stuff? So that's where it comes in more and more comes into effect. It helps with receivers because you can catch away from your body. You know, that makes sense too. You're just thinking about catch radius. But I really look at it when I'm looking at the trenches and a little bit at linebacker, just because you're dealing with it a lot more and you're playing against more guys that have more length on the offensive side. So that's Patriot luck right there. Yeah, that is Patriots luck that we have to deal with Kenyon Sadiq in the AFC East. So Elvis Dumerville was like 6 foot with 35-inch arms and made a living with them. Yeah, like there's a point right there, right? You can have, I bet you most of the guys in the NFL that are a little bit undersized at the edge position have massive arm length and wingspan because that's how they can get away with it.
Make their 2 selections. The Lions are on the clock.
The Lion. Okay, let's talk about the Lions pick right here. I think Monroe Freeling's the pick right here. I think Monroe Freeling makes so much sense. I mocked that a lot for them. There's not an offensive tackle I'd take over him. So Monroe Freeling would be the guy, especially because they need tackle help.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC.
We actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Yeah, I think this is Monroe Freeling's probably the best pure left tackle left on the board because Honachor and Miller are both more right tackles. So I think that Miller right here, or not Miller, sorry. I think that Monroe Freeling makes sense here. Now, if they like Miller or Honachor a little bit more, I think that Penei Sewell's good enough to move over to left tackle. So they could prioritize someone else if they feel like they're a better fit or they like them as a better player. But I think that they're going to really like Monroe Freeling right here out of Georgia.
Everywhere you go with Marriott Bonvoy shapes you, making you the greatest souvenir of all. Explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences.
This is Fresh Pet. This is Hank. And to make fresh, healthy food for Hank, We start here.
On farms like mine.
Plant the seeds, tend to the soil, feed the animals.
Yeah, they could very well want to move Penei Sewell. And maybe if they want to, they could still move Monroe Freeling to right tackle. Like, yeah, you could easily play Monroe Freeling at right tackle. So, if they want to move Penei Sewell there, you can still take Monroe Freeling, bump him to the right side. If they don't want to, flip two guys' positions, then they could just say, hey, let's take a Honich or a Miller here. But Freeling is the best tackle on the board left right here.
Exceeds the power of gas. The industry's most powerful cordless pressure washer and a string trimmer so smart it loads the line with the push of a button. Find an Ego retailer near you.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Thanks, bro.
Take a lap, rookie. Switch to Allstate and you could save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
Why is everyone so fired up? It's a Stanley Cup playoffs. What's exciting playoffs out?
Jungle, I'm not going to talk about the Vrabel stuff just because I've waited so long to talk about the draft stuff. So there will be a time and a place for it, but I'm not going to talk about that just because I want to focus on the draft. Not because I'm trying to avoid talking it. It's just this is my favorite day of the year for the offseason, and I've put like 5 months of time into it, and so I'm not going to talk about the Vrabel stuff, at least in the first round today.
We are back in Pittsburgh. Time now for a draft moment brought to you by Ego. It's been a fast-moving first round. It opened as expected with Fernando Mendoza being the number 1 pick to the Raiders. The Cowboys moved up a spot to take Caleb Downs at number 11. And then the big surprise, the Rams selecting Ty Simpson at number 13. The Detroit Lions are on the board now at 17. And here comes the commissioner with a special guest to announce.
I will for sure be live for rounds 2 and 3 and maybe early in day 3. I don't know if I'll do all of day 3 just because it's a Saturday and stuff. But I will for sure be live for rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow.
Taking action to support Make-A-Wish during World Wish Month. Tonight, you all have the opportunity to help grant an unforgettable wish. I'm joined here by Easton, a 14-year-old Lions fan whose wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. I'd like to ask all of you to join me in cheering on Easton as he makes his wish come true. Take it away, Easton.
This is a cool moment for a fan. This is awesome.
With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Blake Miller.
There you go. See, that I talked about. I think Monroe Freeling is the better player, but you take Blake Miller and say, hey, he's our right tackle, and you're moving Penei Sewell to left tackle probably.
He won the starting job at right tackle to begin his true freshman year, and he never gave it up. 4-year starter, 54 games, started them all. Clemson says he has his career record for most snaps from scrimmage. He never came off the field.
He didn't. He was a consistent player for Clemson. Where they had some underachievers, he wasn't. Week in and week out, he was out there, durable, reliable.
Light Shadows, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. It's been a while. Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Plug and play players are going early. Yeah, there's a lot of these. But you know what's interesting about the first round of this draft? You look at some of the teams up here, and you got teams that can be a lot better last year than what they were this year. The Lions fit in that category. The Ravens fit in that category. Dallas could easily fit in that category, you know, because they had some injuries and stuff. So you look at some of these plug and play guys that are going and where they're going to, you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to teams that are going to be in the playoffs or at least playoff contention. They just happen to have a bad year. Same with the Chiefs. You know, Mansour Delane goes early, and you're expecting the Chiefs with a fully healthy Patrick Mahomes to be back in the AFC race for, you know, winning the AFC title in general. So it's really interesting. Tony, everyone else, yeah, draft. I just, the draft. I like it better to see. I do.
Next at number 18, that pick is Kansas. A reminder, the cadence coming a little more quickly this year rather than 10 minutes between
I do one called the Draft Geeks podcast where I do, position rankings with another Instagram page. And so for me, it's like, listen, we're going to talk about that stuff probably for the next 3 months because that's how long it's going to be. Oh, sorry. I want to hear this. I think it's Dylan Thieneman, by the way.
18th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Banks.
Wow. Wow. D-line early. Wow. I mocked a safety, a versatile safety to replace Harrison Smith really often for them. So that's interesting. Interior defense now. Caleb Banks is a freak. Great athleticism, massive human being. But he has had some injury concerns, hasn't stayed healthy. So that's an interesting pick. Chris Jones light. Yes, Boston GM. Very much so.
6'6", 327 pounds, 35-inch arms, 10-inch hands. He only played 3 games this past season. If you want to know what he was, go back to the 24 season and watch the game against LSU. Simply lined up and dominated. A long defensive tackle. At his best, Mel, I think he's got Chris Jones-like potential inside.
Boom, you said it. Boston GM.
He can be dominant. He went down to the Senior Bowl, and he showed up, and he showed out. Now, the problem is going to be from a medical standpoint, if you're Minnesota, the foot injury. They had to check the foot out because a big man with a foot injury usually doesn't get better. But when he's healthy, he's one of the best defensive linemen that we've seen.
That's the thing, right? I mean, when you see him in person, I got to stand next to him down the practice field in Mobile. My jaw hit the turf. He is massive. And you're right. You got to watch 2024 in order to get a good feel for him.
Panthers right here could take a sliding Mekhi Lemon. He'd fit real nice next to Tedero McMillan, in my opinion.
Continues in a moment on ESPN.
Well,
Draft Green Room is brought to you by Lowe's.
I was pissed they took Caleb with Thieneman on the board.
Your Sunday
No, because Downs is a much better player. I love Dylan Thieneman. He's a my guy in this draft class, but you don't pass on Caleb Downs now. I think that there's going to be an edge rusher there for them that they want, or that they like. PJ Parker, Keldrick Falk. Akeem Messidor is a guy that I think could be interesting because he's another plug-and-play guy. Like, if you get Caleb Downs, Akeem Messidor, those are plug-and-play guys for them right away. So odds that we don't get a lineman in first pick, it's hard because right now I really only see Monroe Freeling and Maxi Honachor as guys that I would want the Patriots to take, and it's really just Maxi Honachor. So if there continues to be a run on offensive tackles, that worries me a little. Caleb Lomu's another guy that might sneak in. I don't want to say sneak into the first round, but I have him a little bit lower down my board, but like the San Francisco 49ers could maybe value him a little bit more. So that will be interesting to see how they view that. We got another trade. Nice. Is it Dallas trading down? Who's trading up with Dallas? I'm guessing it's got to be Dallas that's trading down, right? Because the Panthers pick is in.
Impressive. Most impressive. Build new Lego
Dallas and Philly. Wow. Philly's coming up. Wow, an interdivision trade is not heard of very often.
Hi, Mom.
Who's Philly coming up for?
Hey, Mercedes, play Josh's playlist.
The luxurious tranquility of
Thieneman?
That was nice while it lasted.
Welcome to
Thieneman?
place. Welcome home. See your Mercedes
Denzel Boston? They trying to find an AJ Brown replacement? Or, you know what? I bet they're coming up for Monroe Freeling. They need some offensive line help with just the age of their offensive line. Lemon. They could be Lemon. That's not a bad one.
Dr. Pepper Cherry is the bestest, boldest Dr. Pepper.
Now, just a doggone minute.
Assuming they can't trade down, I'd be interested to see where the board falls. Like, if a Zion Young's there, if an Akeem Messidor happened to be there. I like Malachi Lawrence, but I don't know if I like him enough to take it 31. So I like the player, but if you can't work a trade down, Jacob Rodriguez, listen, I like Jacob Rodriguez a lot, but again, backer 31, I don't know. It would be really hard for me. I don't know. Would they take like a KC Concepcion as a receiver? And even though they feel confident in getting a guy like AJ Brown, would you just say, hey, we're going to have AJ Brown, Romeo Dobbs, KC Concepcion, and Kyle Williams on the outside? Now you definitely look to move booty. So I don't know. The one wild card that a lot of people have probably heard, I'm not as big on it either. I think there's guys in the middle rounds that you can get, is Caden McDonald. But with the Vrabel connection to Ohio State, it also wouldn't shock me if that's who they were to pick at 31 if the board looks a little bit bare like it might be.
Having made that trade with the Cowboys to number 20. But first, the Panthers at 19 and the commissioner, Roger Goodell.
With the 19th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Monroe Freeling.
Oh, so there you go. So Carolina takes Monroe Freeling. So there you go. See, there's another tackle that's off the board. So now, really the only guys worth first-round picks, in my opinion, at this point, Caleb Lomu, Maxie Honachor. And they got to last a whole nother 11, 12 picks, which not looking very good.
At the injury at left tackle, you talk about a guy like this stepping in for a Bryce Young at quarterback. Size is an issue with Bryce. He needs that clean pocket. You talk about Monroe Freeling, 6'7.5", 315 pounds. Talk about 34.5 arms. You know, about vertical jump of 33.5 to 4.9.
I'm interested to see what Dallas gave up, because you're assuming they're paying a little bit of a tax for
run blocking needs to be improved. Blake Miller had 54 starts. This kid only had 17, so he's still a work in progress. I thought it actually go a little earlier than this. I think at this point for Carolina, knowing that Bryce Young is at his best, when he gets that clean pocket, they can see that field bug. This makes sense for the Carolina Panthers. This kid's best football is head. And the way
Boston GM, thoughts on Klubnik as QB3? I don't mind him. I think he's a little bit undersized for the NFL. I think he has decent enough arm strength. If he was there in the 5th or 6th, then, you know, I would be fine with that. But I see that there's other guys, like I like Haynes King. I like Jaylon Daniels from Kansas. I like those guys a little bit better as like a third quarterback for the Patriots potentially.
The Eagles moved up for Devontae Smith. The Cowboys moved back and took Micah Parsons. That one worked out well for both teams. We'll see how this one works out. The Eagles pick at number 20.
With the 20th pick in the 2026
Who did Philly come up
NFL
for?
Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Makai Lemon.
Wow, they did come up for Lemon.
Receiver, USC.
So listen, I said this at 23. I think that we will know what the AJ Brown, like how real the rumors are and stuff about post June 1, depending on what Philly does. Taking Lemon, I thought they could have taken Boston in the at 23. That's really interesting right there. That, in my opinion, might be a big sign that they're probably moving on from AJ Brown, and now it's Devontae Smith, Makai Lemon.
Mel, you have been raving about him since September.
Howie Roseman does a great job as a Hall of Fame GM, right? Makai Lemon plays fierce. And I say that because with the ball in his hands, and he attacks the
running back, Boston GM, scat back. Rex Burkhead type is how I see Heinrich. I liked him a lot, though. I mocked him to the Patriots a couple times in the 6th round, his position versatility. Now, I do have a lot of faith in Lamb Larison. Hopefully he comes back healthy. So what factors are a player's draft grades based on? I can tell you how I do mine. So obviously I have first round grades on people, and what's interesting is not you don't have to have 32 first round grades. And I think that's why when someone says this is a weaker class, it's because I only had 16 players with first round grades. Now obviously there's going to be 32 players going in the first round, so you know, just talking about that. Now, grades can be, multiple things. It's positional versatility, or not positional versatility, it's positional value. So like running back comes into play, like how early or where do you want to rank a running back compared to a more premium position like an offensive tackle? Now, I had Jeremiah Lovett too, because I just think he's a great athlete. He's a great football player. But, it's hard for people to justify putting him above like a David Bailey, a Sonny Styles. So grades can vary between people. I think the easiest thing to do or to, understand is that every team will have grades on players, and it has everything in them. It has ability, it has measurables, it has testing, it has off the field issues, it has medicals, and they'll put grades into those. And so that's another reason is like Jamad McCoy, he's had a ton of injuries out of Tennessee. He hasn't played in a long time. He might be a first-round player if you see him play a full season and if he doesn't have the injury concerns. But with the injury concerns, maybe that moves him down people's boards a little bit because they are like, ooh, that knee injury or whatever is going to worry me, sometime down in his career. So that's kind of how I do grades. And I think it is pretty standard. Now, other people, some evaluators, some people just like other things better than others. Like when I'm looking at edge rushers, I like twitchy guys. I do like guys that can hold up in the run, but I like twitchy guys that can get to the passer, that have great first steps. And, especially in the first round, when you're looking at a first round edge rusher, you're looking at guys like Myles Garrett, and he's great all around, right? But you're looking at like a David Bailey who can get to the pass rusher consistently. He's elite at doing it. So, some traits too that you prefer others go into the grades. So Pittsburgh, the hometown team, is on the clock.
All right, Marriott Bonvoy takes us down to the stage. Laura Rutledge is standing by with Makai Lemon. Laura.
Makai, from the first time you ever put on pads and a helmet to this moment right here, being a first-round pick in the NFL draft, what has defined your journey?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just so blessed right now. I just praise the Lord for every moment, really. It's a dream.
This guy's an interesting cat. If you guys...
When you look out at those Philly fans and you think about the fan base that's about to embrace you with open arms, what will they love most about you?
And they getting a dog. This ready to work, for real. I ain't doing no plan.
Thank you, Makai. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Laura, thank you. And as the NFL moves this draft from city to city, one of the highlights is always when the hometown team makes its selection. That moment has come. The Steelers at 21.
This year we've had a revival of the terrible cow. You'll see thousands upon thousands of terrible cows waving out in those stands today. The terrible cow is poised to strike. So are the Steelers.
Who'd I mock here for Pittsburgh? Where's my... Oh, yeah. Yeah, boss IGM. I don't know who this is. This is a interesting pick for them. Oh, howdy, Cole.
What's up?
How's it going?
Not bad. How about you?
Oh, pretty
draft
good.
Day.
Yes, it is.
Just take this out. There you go. How's that? So AJ Brown's a Patriot or what?
Hey, that's some encouraging drafting right there.
How about that? How about that leverage that the Eagles think they have?
Yeah, they really don't anymore.
That's right out the window.
Pittsburgh's doing a good hype up for this. That's for dang sure.
Pittsburgh Steelers select. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Joe Green, Alan Faneca, Derek Harmon, Joey Porter Jr., TJ Watt, Lynn Swan.
Our board is thinning.
AJ Brown's playing tight end in Philly.
Dallas Goedert can't. You imagine?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, obviously, Maxi Honachor's the pick that I would make, but we'll see. Tackles are getting thin. Caleb Lomu's the only other one that I see. You do have Concepcion and Denzel Boston, but I don't know if they're making that pick. TJ Parker as an edge rusher. Akeem Messidor.
You got a lot of the ed guys are still there.
The Pittsburgh Steelers
But
are committed to growing the game of football and
O-line is
celebrating
thin.
athletes at every level. Joining me on stage are 6
I was a little
Mo
surprised to see
Menace
Jeremiah Love
Leadership
go at
Award
3.
recipients, featuring both high school tackle players and flag football athletes.
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked too. I thought they needed a lot more. So
You trading the pick or what?
yeah, but I bet they couldn't. They probably couldn't. Because I think they wanted to. If they had their if they had their option, they probably would have traded the pick.
Congratulations to each of you. We wish all of you the best as you continue your football journeys. The last time I introduced the Steelers' first-round pick, I was fortunate to introduce T.J. Watt. And with the 21st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Max Ihanachor.
I figured that they'd have tackles going. They don't trust Broderick Jones anymore.
Ah, shit.
What an extraordinary scene here in Pittsburgh. And an extraordinary story is Max Ihanachor. His family came to the U.S. from Nigeria when he was 13. The first time he ever played organized football in his life was in junior college at East Los Angeles College. He spent 2 years there, then on to Arizona State, where he started 31 games over 3 years. And now here he is, Mel, a first-round pick in the NFL draft.
High school, they didn't even have a football team, Green, like you talked about. You think about where he came from, where he is now. Amazing. 6'6", 321 pounds. 34 arms, ran 4.91, 30 and a half vertical, and 25 reps. Those are unbelievable numbers across the board. The improvement that he showed this past year was outstanding. Started all 14 games.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, that instantly switches my focus to trade back. Or if they're sticking and picking, it switches it to edge, TJ Parker, Keldrick Falk, but I don't know if Keldrick Falk makes it that far. Akeem Messidor, Zion Young.
That's what I was going to say. If you got a group of like 4 or 5 of these edge guys still available that you feel similar about, trade back and get assets next year for AJ. And
yeah, the one that I'm not sold on, but I think that it's a possibility, especially with how the board's falling, is Caden McDonald out of Ohio State, the D tackle, with Mike Vrabel's connections, with losing I can't think of his name, Kyrus Tonga, and the uncertainty of Barmore in the future. I don't know. It's interesting.
That stinks.
For Max to say, hey, look, I'm one of the baddest dudes out here. And to go ahead and have that mindset, because if he is proactive with it and uses all those physical tools we talked about, he has dominant shutdown tackle ability. Dominant.
And when you think about the Steelers, he could be a possibility at left tackle. Broderick Jones, their left tackle, got a neck issue. May have to have neck.
Cole, have you heard anything about this? Rumors of Booty and a 4th to Atlanta for Pitts.
I saw some Instagram page post that and say per their sources, but I had never seen the page before. So no. Yes, I've seen that rumor, but no, from nowhere credible that I know of. But I have
I mean, if they could actually do that, I think that would be awesome, because I think that a 4th-round pick for Kayshon Boutte alone is actually really ideal. I don't know if you'll get a 3rd, so if you could trade Boutte and a 4th and get a guy like Kyle Pitts, I mean, I would almost want it to be less, because I think Boutte's equal to a 4th, and so I wouldn't want to give that. Like, if you could trade Boutte and like your 5th-round pick this year, because you have so many middle-round picks, then that would be awesome. But I don't know. I don't think that's
Pitts is on. He signed the franchise tag, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he needs an extension.
And it's gonna be hard with AJ Brown coming in if he comes in, Kyle Pitts if that were to be a thing, and extending Christian Gonzalez. I just think that would make it a little bit tough.
Yes. I think that would be an interesting way to use Boutte, though. He's on the last year of his deal. Pitts is on the last year of his deal. You got the extra pick there for the 4th. You got Hunter Henry and Kyle Pitts as your 2 tight ends. Then with the guy from the Dolphins will be your kind of blocking. That would be scary passing offense with A.J. Brown, Romeo Dobbs, Kyle Pitts, Kyle Williams. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting. So there's an edge rusher that I would have been interested in. Akeem Messidor goes off the board to the Chargers at pick 22. He's a ready-made NFL guy. He's played in college for 5 years. Was opposite of Ruben Bain, had a ton of production. So that's one of the edge rushers. So tackles are pretty much off the board unless it's Caleb Lomu, which I'm not sure I'm so in love with because I think he's a little bit weak. I think he needs a little bit more like core strength and leg strength to be able to anchor, which we saw Will Campbell have a problem with. But now you're down to kind of 3 edge rushers: Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, and Zion Young, maybe.
Yep. You said, you say Hal?
I don't love Cassius Howell, at least not at 31. If they were to trade down, I would consider Cassius Howell because he has that elite pass rushing ability, but I'm not buying into the Cassius Howell at pick 31. I would almost rather take Malachi Lawrence at 31 because before you got on, we were talking about all the problems with short arms and why Ruben Bain potentially fell, and Cassius Howell has 30 1/4 inch arms, which is like I think half an inch shorter than what Ruben Bain's were.
Was that at the combine or?
That was at the combine. And then Pro Day was 31. But, if you go to Bain was Ruben Bain was 30 7/8 inch at arm, and then he didn't do, or at the combine, and then he didn't do a Pro Day one. So assuming his Pro Day one is a little bit more, it's still 31 1/4. It's somewhere you're about a half an inch off. And so,
yeah,
I don't know. The pass rushing ability is sweet. He gets to the quarterback. He has the twitch. He has the true ability to probably get 10 sacks in the NFL. But I'd worry that he's a designated pass rusher, and he would be a little bit harder to, be stout against the run.
Yeah, that's fair. For a little while there, the picks were way ahead of the broadcast on the Twitter.
The 8 minutes has been good because it's been keeping the pace up, but they go to commercial or the players still walking out on the stage and the pick's already in. Yeah. So it's they need to speed up something else. The 8 minute timer is good, but they need to get the players out there.
It's plenty of time. I don't know why they're struggling with it. What's been your biggest surprise pick so far?
Ty Simpson.
Yeah. That was mine as well.
It would be there's a couple. Ty Simpson's definitely the biggest one off the top of my head. You go look. Jordan Tyson to the Saints. It makes sense because they need help, but Jordan Tyson to the Saints was a little bit of a surprise because I thought they could have used Caleb Downs or
how about KC trading up?
Yeah. Oh, Casey's trading up, you said?
No. How about KC trading up to 6?
Yeah, that one's interesting to me because I thought they could have gotten Mansour Delane at pick 9. So they obviously felt like there was someone that was going to pick Mansour Delane ahead of them. And I didn't feel the case. I thought Washington was going Sonny Styles unless they just had a super big hunch that New Orleans was going to go with Mansour Delane. But I didn't think that they necessarily needed to. Sadiq at 16 to the Jets. It makes another one that makes sense, but another one that I was like, oh man, if Mekhi Lemon's on the board, I think they'll take Mekhi Lemon, but they finally get their tight end that they need.
Him and Garrett Wilson would have been fun for the Jets fans.
Yeah.
Sadiq is still interesting for them though.
Yeah.
That'll be a good addition.
It sucks he's in the AFC East.
Yeah.
Proctor was definitely one. Proctor was definitely one that he went before some guys that I would have taken him for. I mean, at 12 to Miami, if they want to move him to interior line, I thought they could have used Vega Ioane, could have used Monroe Free. I don't know. So there's been a couple, but Ty Simpson, especially going to the Rams where they're a Super Bowl contender, I was like, they could have had someone that was probably an instant impact, but they want to develop a guy. They wanted to get him in the system, and so Turn the volume back on.
Still got Denzel Boston on the board too. Not that if the Patriots are trading for AJ, but don't need that. But Denzel Boston, KC still on the board.
Really strong against the run, engaged with some pass rush as well. And Caleb Lomu, left tackle, has to get a little bigger, stronger, but certainly is with his feet, his balance, and pass throw is a late first-round pick, you would have thought. Keldrick Falk, he's the LT player. Boy, he looks the part, but the production this year didn't match the talent. We thought he would take his game to an elite level. He didn't, but on talent, he saw a young kid developing, but he did not build on 2024. He had a down year from a production standpoint. He's one of those edge rushers that's certainly in the mix at this point.
All right, the Cowboys selection is in. They took Caleb Downs earlier tonight. Here comes their second pick of the
All right, Dallas's pick at 23 after they traded with the Eagles.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Malachi Lawrence.
Wow.
Defensive end,
Wow.
University of Central Florida.
He would have been a trade down option or someone at 31 I would have been interested in, but he was getting a lot of hype about potentially going early in the draft, and he goes top 25.
There you go.
7 players in the country.
So that's honestly not one that I would have probably circled at 31 before like a Zion Young or before like a TJ Parker. So it doesn't, it takes away a target, but it doesn't take away like one of the best guys available in my opinion.
Yeah. That means the get off, the ability to get out of his stance and bring juice off the edge. 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. His best football is in front of him. He's got the ability to have length, the long arm, the speed, the power. His best rush moves, Lou, are in front of him.
7 picks, and then we're up after that.
Caleb Downs, you get Malachi Lawrence. I like that combination.
Yeah, that first clip against Baylor, he absolutely just whipped that.
You think Bills go Boston or KC, one of those guys?
I really thought his hand use was kind of like
I think that
he had hand slaps.
they could take an edge. They could also look at taking like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren or Dylan Thieneman. If Dylan Thieneman's there, they could look at taking Thieneman. But I do think one of the safeties comes off the board to Chicago at 25. Like I could see Thieneman for sure taking one of them. But I would. They could also look at Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper Jr. is someone that has been flying up draft boards.
Yep. Browns pick is in.
The 2026 NFL Draft is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Did you see Schefter's tweet about the Eagles pick?
No.
By trading up to draft USC wide receiver Malik Lemon to the Eagles. The Eagles land more insurance for June's expected A.J. Brown trade to New England.
A soulmate for the week. Finding out you love a good poncho and glamping, and that durian is everything they say it is. Everywhere you go with Marriott Bonvoy shapes you, making you the greatest souvenir of all. Explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences.
100 years ago, no one would insure cars for military members, so they did it themselves.
Malik Neighbors was on a draft show on Bleacher Report, and he was mad that the Cowboys got Caleb Downs.
Really?
He said, I'd rather get him than play against him. I got to play against that thing, bro. He's very good.
That's funny. Honor, service, loyalty, integrity. Those are the things we live by. And why our members know we'll be there. USAA. Taking care of our
yeah, I mean, I'm not against if the best player on the board, I don't think that they would. Yeah, Thieneman's falling, in my opinion. Thieneman's falling, and Jermod McCoy is a first-round talent, but he has injury concerns. But I don't think Denzel Boston makes sense with the A.J. Brown rumors. But, like, if KC Concepcion is there and he's the best player available, I think him, Dobbs, and A.J. Brown would immediately change the way that people look at the Patriots receiver room. And assuming you move Kayshon Boutte and Kyle Williams is your fourth guy. You know, Matt Collins is in that rotation. Pop Douglas, like that would be very good. KC Concepcion is very good intermediate over the middle. So he would be very fun addition if that's just the best player available.
It's too bad he's not on the board anymore.
Did he get drafted? Did I miss something? You dick. Why would you spoil it for me?
I'm just kidding.
The Browns probably took him. The Browns are going to take him. I actually mocked that a ton. Do they take him? You can tell me now.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I actually mocked that a ton. So that's actually hell yeah.
Interesting.
Omar Cooper Jr., I would say, had first round hype. I don't know if you have to be real creative with an Omar Cooper Jr. He's like a Deebo Samuel guy, great with the ball in his hands. I do think he's a damn good receiver. And I do think Josh McDaniels has used guys like Julian Edelman like that before. So he'd be another receiver that fits in that category that would play in the slot, at that H. He's tough as nails over the middle. He can do reverses, screens.
I wonder what the deal is going to be with the Cowboys and Pickens. Just talking about the wide receiver position. Because he just signed the franchise tag, right? But they're not anywhere close to a deal getting done.
Yeah, but I read a report today too that said it's kind of like in good faith that like he's going to play on it.
Interesting. I didn't know if he signed the deal today because they were going to maybe trade him and he needed to officially sign the tag to get traded.
Do you buy into the Brian Thomas Jr. trade rumors at all? Today there was a report saying that Jacksonville would make him available to potentially move up into the first.
I'd do that over the AJ deal. Keep next year's picks. Pair a young guy.
That would suck. AJ Brown would be pissed.
Oh yeah,
the Eagles would be pissed.
He would be furious, but I wouldn't be.
All right, Cleveland. We kind of know the pick already, but they're in. So let's listen to this one.
Cole might have lied.
I don't think you did.
24th pick in the 2026
Denzel Boston.
The Cleveland Browns select Casey Concepcion, wide receiver.
I wish they went. I wish they would have went with Denzel Boston. Anyone worth trading up for? Right now, I do not think so. No.
I would say that if you didn't have the AJ deal going, then this would be KC or Denzel Boston, like one of these guys. That would be something I would consider. But the tackles are gone. Those were kind of the guys that we liked the best. You got a couple edges who are kind of in the same group, but nobody that you're like super pumped about. Yeah, it kind of feels like back in the good old days of hoping somebody falls, nobody does, and you're like, well, I guess we're trading back.
Yep, here we go.
You know who my comp for him was Zay Flowers. Todd Monken, the OC in Baltimore, who did he have there? Zay Flowers. So you can tell he understood what he wanted.
I think TJ Parker's the highest upside edge rusher. Keldrick Falk actually has a ton of upside too, but he's a massive human, and I feel like he's more of like a 4-eye interior guy, like 6'5", 7'8", 280 pounds almost. Like he didn't have a great 40. He ran a 4.67. He's just big and strong. Where TJ Parker 2 years ago at Clemson showed some pass rushing ability and then just had a little bit of a step back. So if those are the edge rushers, which again, I don't think Keldrick Falk makes it that far, but if those are the edge rushers, I probably prefer the higher upside guy in TJ Parker. He was once thought of as a top 10 pick in this class. I don't love someone mocked a corner to the Patriots, Chris Johnson. I saw that. I don't love that.
That was Jeremiah, wasn't it?
Was Daniel Jeremiah?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that. So
Yates did Caleb. Is it Lomo?
Caleb Lomu. Yeah, I mean he plays left tackle because Fano played right, and like I feel like he's a little bit weak. Like he struggles anchoring. He needs to put a little bit more girth on him and like strength. And so I don't love Lomu. I think Lomu could come off in the next couple picks because I think like San Francisco needs an offensive lineman. I think there's a couple that might need one coming up in the next couple picks. San Francisco, I'm trying to think of who else is there.
There you go.
No. Kansas City. No, I don't think Kansas City really needs one.
This stuff works.
So really, we're kind of talking Zion Young, TJ Parker,
Omar Cooper Jr. I think is in there. I really do. Okay. I wouldn't mind it. I think Caden McDonald's going to be in there.
You think You think there's any shot that they grab a tight end round one?
The only one that's worth it is Eli
Like from Vandy?
Stowers.
Yeah.
They could, because they're not getting him at 63. If you feel like that's your guy, you're not getting him at 63. So if you can't get a trade down that you want to and, you know, take him at 41 like we did in our mock draft, you might have to.
UPMC, life-changing medicine.
Can AI really
I wouldn't love the
change the way
value.
business operates?
I would love the player, but I wouldn't love the value.
And rebuild everything to fit their systems, then yes. It's
Jacob Rodriguez is an interesting one.
and newer things and newer things. Are you getting this? You.
What? No, we have
Bears
IBM.
pick is in. Bills on the clock.
Systems we already have. We're not locked into
I won't spoil anymore.
You don't have to wear the lanyard all day.
You might have to fire up the graphic and get some because our guys are slowly running out.
Yeah. I have it open in case we need it.
A handshake?
Just thought it could be cool.
In theaters now.
With hotels and vacation rentals, Booking.com has something for everyone.
Jesus! You got anything more boutique?
Oui. Right this way.
Yeah, we're talking. What about something more family friendly?
Maybe a resort with a water park?
Oh, that's what I forgot.
Somewhere less family friendly?
Yep, one Vegas hotel for the bride-to-be.
What if we hate everything?
We have free cancellation. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.com.
It's good, bro. It's good, bro. Silly. You gonna be into it? I'll do it myself.
The feelings take control.
Aura Ring 4, now in colorful ceramic.
Verizon Small Business Days are coming, where business experts are bringing support, special offers, and everything your small business needs. Score a meeting with an expert today.
And since you bundled home and auto with 24/7 protection, you can hand all the worry over to us.
That's right. At Progressive, it's our job to do the worrying for you.
The Bears are looking.
Awfully close to the curtains. And when was this
I think
porch
the
built?
Bears are
Did they
looking
have building codes back then?
safety here. I think they're absolutely ecstatic that Dylan Thieneman and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren are here in this spot. That's
When you bundle home and auto, you can be free of all these worries and more, because we're already worrying for you.
because they need interior line, but they're not going to take an interior lineman. They need D lineman. They could take Caden McDonald.
2026 NFL Draft is brought to you by American Express, the official payment.
Lomu's still available. Yes.
Now
Shadows.
bringing card members closer to the action with world-class experiences and access. It's membership at its best.
Beautiful night in Pittsburgh. Temperatures have been warm. It was 80 degrees today. Hundreds of thousands of fans here in Western Pennsylvania celebrating the NFL Draft. And the Chicago Bears are up next at number 25. The commissioner is ready with the pick.
With the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Dylan
Yeah,
Thieneman.
that's a steal for them, man. That's freaking. They needed a safety. I thought he would have been off the board at Minnesota or potentially earlier. That guy's got some positional versatility. Good pick for them. I like that.
And a sack last year. And it runs in the family. His two older brothers also played safety at Purdue.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job. He had 6 interceptions that freshman year at Purdue. You think about the Bears, where they are with their safeties. They want safeties that can cover. And Dylan Thieneman is a guy you can play in center field. He can play in the box. He's got range. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds, ran 4.35, had a 41 vertical. This kid made a lot of plays throughout his career. Did a good job at Oregon. Reads the quarterback's eyes very effectively. Was not a huge presence in run support, but for what they're looking for. Remember, Brian Branch, he had in Detroit. Ben Johnson saw Brian Branch.
Okay, Buffalo. It could go Boston. I feel like Boston is redundant to Keon Coleman, though. Now they might just move on from Keon Coleman. They could go Omar Cooper Jr. They could just look at a defensive player.
Trying to get this background figured out. That swap that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
It's being all weird.
Yeah, I think that the Bills are looking at a DN, so they could take Keldrick Falk or TJ Parker. Receivers in the question, just because I know everyone thinks they need to add a receiver. I think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's also interesting too, because I would say that he's of good value for them, and this is a good spot for him to go. '49ers attempting to trade pick 27, Schefter tweeted. All right, Houston's pick is in. Houston is taking this pick. Houston traded up. So this isn't Buffalo. This is Houston.
Oh, Buffalo traded back, you said?
Buffalo traded back to 28. Houston came up to 26.
Dolphins trade up to 27.
So Houston need. Say that again. Sorry.
Dolphins trade up to 27.
Wow. So Houston needs offensive line or D tackle. So I think this is Caleb Lomu, Caden McDonald in this spot. And then now that San Francisco traded out, I thought San Francisco might need offensive line. So this will be interesting. Now, Miami trading
maybe
up
Boston
for Houston or for
Miami.
It could be Omar Cooper too. Yeah, it could be Boston. Could be Omar Cooper. I think those are the two receivers you're looking at.
I wonder if Buffalo is okay. How far back did they trade?
To 28.
Buffalo did?
Right, because they traded with Buffalo. Yeah, they traded to 28. I'm trying to find the details.
Okay, so Houston is 26. Miami is 27. Buffalo's 28. So
here's the pick. Here's the Houston pick.
To number 26.
With the 26th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Keelan Rutledge.
Whoa!
Georgia Tech.
Wow. I like Basantes a little bit better, so that's an interesting pick right there for them. I like Basantes better, but he got mocked to the Patriots at one point.
Look, this is the guy who head coach
I'm going to
Brady
guess that Miami's
said,
goal there was jumping Buffalo to take a receiver that their receiver. And I'm guessing Buffalo's going to take, because they probably feel good about Boston or Cooper. Or
Making
maybe
it to him.
Well, because one of those two would be there.
Yeah.
But like you said, with Keon Coleman, it's a little redundant, but I don't know that they're really that tied down to Keon Coleman at this point.
Yeah, they probably aren't. Like, they move on. The Dolphins could be coming up for, because who they took. Why am I drawing a blank? Who
Tackle.
Malanoga? Proctor. So they could be coming up for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren because they need a safety. Yeah, they probably need a receiver. You're right. I bet they're coming up. They're coming up for a receiver, and then Buffalo will take whoever because they already got their guard.
That's my guess. Haven't seen the pick yet, though.
If I had to guess Boston GM, I bet they're coming up for a receiver. So Boston, or it could be Omar Cooper Jr. I wouldn't be shocked if they valued Omar Cooper Jr. a little bit more, just with how Mike McDaniel seems to run that offense.
Taylor Kyle's tweet said that he likes TJ Parker, but lacks the pass rush juice New England needs. Their edge room. If the Pats are locked into the 31st pick, I vote nose tackle Caden McDonald. Trenches, spine, key role player.
I don't hate it. I would prefer Parker over McDonald. I have Parker at 22 and McDonald at 35, so it's really not even close. I think TJ Parker, if he gets back to his 2025 or 2024 self, like he's an elite edge rusher. Not like super twitchy, but like he would be a very good edge rusher. Better than anyone the Patriots have in their room.
Also, one thing you were worried about. I don't know how worried people were, but if one of these teams needed a receiver and they missed on it, would they get desperate for AJ Brown and kind of ruin your situation there? So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Like if, I don't know, Buffalo kind of already got one. Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay. Dolphins pick is in.
You just saw it?
I did.
Where do you see it on Twitter?
Yeah, it just comes up. So a lot of people tweet it early. Ari, Mirov.
Yeah.
My sports update. He posted one earlier that was 8 minutes ahead of the
actual pick.
Yeah. Shefty's been better this year about tweeting it kind of like right around the pick actually being in. No Ricky this year.
The dog's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good deal, Boston GM. That's what is that San Francisco? That's what San Francisco got for trading with Miami.
Miami? Wow.
Yeah, just moving down 3 spots and getting pick 90. I saw that deal. That's a really good deal for them.
So I guess if you're kind of thinking about this from Patriots lens, could you trade down from 31 to mid 30s and get a third next year like we talked about?
Probably could. It just depends on who's wanting to come up and for who.
Yep. Do you know if anybody has an extra third round pick next year?
Let me see.
I know, was it the Jags that didn't do much in free agency because they wanted to get a couple comp picks for next year?
Could have been.
Not that there's anybody necessarily that they're trading up for, but
in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Chris Johnson.
Whoa.
Back, San Diego State.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so the California kid stays.
Interesting.
In California, grew up in Long
No, he
Beach,
doesn't.
Then a 2-year starter at San Diego State.
no, Miami is not in California.
That's horrible.
Now he had 4 interceptions, 2 picks.
What the heck is he saying? There is no freaking way he just actually said that. That's hilarious.
That is
my
funny.
heck. Okay, so Buffalo. They do need D-line. They could take Caden McDonald. They could easily take receiver.
Oh, wow. Patriots trade up with the Bills.
No way.
Yep. Pats just traded up.
The Pats are on the clock?
Pats are on the clock. Pats are on the clock.
Who did they feel the
Interesting.
need to trade up for?
I don't know.
Oh, shit. What'd they give up? New 31 and 125. So they give up a, what is that, a fourth?
Yeah.
Yeah, 31 and 125 for 28. Who are they coming up for? I'm so confused. Pick is in. Let's unmute this and let's listen to all this.
He looked on tape. But yeah, I think down here when you're talking about picking, you know, pick what 27 that we're at right now. This is good value for them in a position that they need. He's got all the measurables and he's got some ball skills.
Oh, we've had another trade here.
Bro, so has Buffalo traded with 2 AFC East teams?
Now they've traded back
Yep.
again. The Patriots have moved up. So
The
New England.
freak? What are they
traded
doing? Brandon
inside the
B.
division with Buffalo and set to make their first selection of the night. So the Patriots moving up from 31 a few spots.
Where's Vrabel?
To 28. Trading inside
Bad joke.
the
I'm sorry.
division with the Bills.
I'm sorry.
So the Pats, who were in the Super Bowl a year ago,
I thought he was supposed to be there today.
will make their
We'll see,
first
guys.
selection.
I don't know where this is going, especially with the trade up. This is interesting.
I'm
With the 28th pick in the 2026
Caden
NFL
McDonald.
Draft, the New England Patriots select Caleb Lomu, tackle, Utah.
He started 24 straight games at left tackle.
Listen, they need tackle help. They need tackle help. It's not the tackle I wanted. He's a left tackle exclusively at Utah. He's a little bit. He's. You know what's interesting is he's a year away. He's a year away, just like we said with Ihanacher, but he's not as big and powerful as Ihanacher. He has the athletic ability, so it's. I think they felt like they needed to trade up to get in front of San Francisco because I think Sam Fran was thinking about him at 27 when they traded down to 30. So,
do you have that one already?
I don't know.
I don't even have the trade one done yet. Do you want to? Do we still have that
the trade one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I can do it right now.
Okay.
Inside move as well. Technique is very sound. Power will get in trouble. And that's the issue I have right now with him, Lou.
Yeah, he's 6'6", 313, right? You're right. He's one of those guys when you watch him, you go, does he ever really show you any nasty coming off the ball? The ability, the desire to want to put somebody in the ground. But he's just so efficient and he's effective. You go, okay, I'll take that. But there's more in him to come, especially from an aggressiveness standpoint, which I think will take his game to another level.
All right, Kansas City is on the clock. The Chiefs will make their second pick of the night.
Guys, I will give a full scouting report. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm just making a graphic for our Instagram.
Continue in just a moment.
Forget the warm-up.
Well, he's from Utah, so that.
You know what's actually funny?
Something.
I might have an in. I might have an in to get him on the podcast.
That'd be sweet.
RO line coach.
We could show him
year.
this clip of how awesome and excited we were.
Every year,
I'll be
Coach
super
goes
pumped if he
for
comes
a
on.
CT scan. About 2 weeks later, we get a text from his primary care doctor that said, I need to talk to you and coach. It's very high grade, invading through the bladder wall, or something we call very high risk non-muscle invasive bladder cancer.
If it wasn't for me getting tested for something else, they wouldn't have stumbled up on this. Everybody, please get yourself.
Yeah, I feel like they felt like they needed to trade up to get in front of San Fran. San Fran was really the only team that felt like they needed an offensive tackle left still on the board. So once they traded down, they probably, jumped at the opportunity to trade up.
What is happening? Oh, there we go.
Have you posted the trade one yet?
What?
Have you posted the trade one yet, or did you not get a trade one on IG?
Oh
The
no,
picks.
I was doing the Lomu one. I thought you were doing the trade one.
Oh, I don't have that. Sorry, I don't have that graphic.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Okay.
That's my fault. Maybe we just. Do you want to bag the trade one?
Yeah, we might have to.
Might as well just get this one out.
Do you have that one done?
Yeah, I'm uploading it right now.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was asking you if you had it, because I was like, oh, should I wait until the trade one's posted?
Yeah.
That's on me. That's on me.
That's yeah. Jets are now on the clock.
Jets traded up
with the Niners. So maybe the Niners were going to take him.
Yeah, no, that's who I think they were going to take. All right. Let me give you my thoughts on it. Tackle is definitely a position we thought that they needed. I didn't think Lomer would be on the board. I thought San Francisco was one that they was going to take him, but then I also didn't think that he would be a target for the Patriots. I mean, obviously they need offensive linemen, but I don't think he's a left tackle only. I mean, he can play right tackle. I don't think they're moving Will Campbell into guard. They just signed Elijah Vera Tucker. Like, they're not moving Will Campbell. This is an interesting pick because I still do think he's a year away. His scouting report, he's a little bit lighter framed. He's only 313 pounds. He's got good lateral quickness. He's got good balance. He reacts well. He can recover when guys try to counter off of him. He's a little underdeveloped in play strength, which is where he's going to need to, make his money. He can get beat with power. He has good length. He has 33 plus inch arms, 33 and 3/8 to be exact. And he ran a 4.9. So I don't hate it. Like, listen, I wish, honestly, if I would have probably rather have taken like TJ Parker or Omar Cooper probably on the board in this situation, but it's a position of need. Can't really complain. It's just not the player that I was necessarily locked into.
Was he on your big board? Pat's big board?
Nope. He was not.
All right. Well, there you have it. Yeah, I just thought Ihanacho was kind of a more intriguing, exciting upside player who could be that right tackle of the future for you. I had less questions with him. Just a guy who just felt like he had a ton of upside with how little he's played. Been playing football for 4 or 5 years, so I'm not concerned about the package they gave up. That's fine. Just more the player that they took. All right, Chiefs made their pick. Jets made their pick. Bills on the clock.
to trade up, move up. They gave up their 5th round pick, but they have 4-6 still. So now they only have 7 picks available on day 3, but still, that's, they can easily get up there for an edge rusher, for a tight end if they need to go up there. They addressed offensive line. I do think Caleb Lomu projects better as a tackle. Like, he's going to play tackle. I really don't believe he's going into guard. He has the length. He has the size. I'm interested to see if he moves to right tackle, though. That's, the thing. Like, he plays mostly left tackle. I think you can make the move to right, though. It's pretty easy. The Jets got Omar Cooper, bro. That's a haul for them. Gosh. Yeah.
David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, and Omar Cooper Jr. Yeesh.
It's a freaking haul, bro. That's a freaking haul for them. Wow.
3 damn good players.
So we got Buffalo at 31, Seattle at 32 to wrap up the first round.
We're lucky they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe a NFL weight room will help him help Lomu get a little better. How old is he again? Oops. So 21 years old, still
Yeah,
young.
he's young. Yeah, he's a young guy.
Doesn't turn 22 until almost the end of next season, end of December.
Yeah, and this is what Patriots fans aren't going to like. They're probably going to shit on him for, but he's not going to play right tackle this year. Like, he's so. But let me say this. I asked you this. I asked you this before when we signed Elijah Vera Tucker. What does it feel like they're trying to do with the offensive line right now? Like, what's the mold that they're trying to get into?
Oh my God, hang on. Bills just traded out again.
With who?
The Titans.
Oh my gosh.
So what's that? Their third trade back?
Third trade out.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kind of
They're going for athletic offensive linemen. Like,
it's
Caleb
just
Lomu,
weird because you have Mike Onwenu and then everybody else you're kind of going towards has been athletic.
Well, and so here's the interesting thing is I think Caleb Lomu's probably a year away from starting at right tackle. And so if he's your right tackle going into next year, and when is Onwenu's contract up?
After this season, he's got 1 more year.
They might be moving on from, like, they might be redoing that whole right side and just like going, because the left side and the right side right now, Morgan Moses, Michael Winu is totally different than Jared Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Will Campbell. The Caleb Lomu pick feels like it's like, oh, they're trying to get a little more athletic, maybe go to an outside zone scheme, with Travion Henderson back there. So I think it's interesting to talk about scheme wise and things like that. Just his play style and what he is does not feel like what they have on the right side right now. It feels more like what I think they're going to with the whole offensive line in general being more athletic.
Yeah, no, I agree. What Buffalo's doing right now is kind of what I thought the Patriots might do with trading back to recoup assets for that DJ Moore trade. Was that a 2nd round pick this year?
For who? Sorry, I didn't see
Moore,
the trade. So
for DJ Moore. That was
it was the 2nd round this year.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. It was a 2nd and a 5th, and the 5th was like a swap, I think.
Yeah. So that's probably what they're doing, is just trying to fill in that gap and get some extra picks. I don't know. I'm a little surprised that they didn't try to take. I'm guessing they really liked KC, and once he was gone, they probably were like, "All right, Omar Cooper, if he falls to us, then he goes." And
they might feel, because I think they did the same thing with Denzel Boston, didn't they? where they, or not Denzel Boston, sorry, they did the same thing with Keon Coleman, where they traded out multiple times in the first.
So maybe they're just waiting for Denzel Boston to fall in their lap, and maybe he's gonna. It looks like he's gonna. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gone yet. Schefter said Tennessee's looking for wide receiver help.
They just took Carnell
Tate.
Tate.
Carnell Tate, yeah. I guess you could pair him in Boston.
You could, but
okay, no, they didn't.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say what? I guess I should unmute the screen so people can hear. Sorry.
The Tennessee Titans select Keldrick Falk.
Okay.
Defensive end, Auburn.
Okay.
And so every player who came to the draft this season heard his name called on night one. Keldrick Falk is 6'6", 276 pounds. He played 3 years at Auburn, started the final 32 games of his career, and had 10 sacks.
I'll tell you what, you talk about an LTPer, he looks the part. Why didn't he produce better results? That's kind of the theme of some of these defensive linemen, like Peter Wood, looking at TJ Parker. Keldrick Falk, when you look as good and you test as well as he did, and you have versatility to go inside, and you're playing college football, why Bug wasn't any more productive? He did not build it all in 2024.
You know, sometimes when you have young players now, it takes them a little bit of time to develop. We know it's in there. At his best, he reminds me of Eric Armstead. Like, at his best, a guy that long, he has inside-outside versatility. He can play defensive end. I think right now he's best inside.
Yeah, I think right now the targets in the second round. Oh no. Are we muted?
Yeah, 1 sec. I was just gonna throw on
the press conference.
Yes. Oops. I don't need it.
Just move the pot. Just move pod overlay. Now do it. Add it to stage.
Oh, I was just gonna play audio in the background.
Oh,
I guess I can add it. You want me to add it?
Add it. 1 sec. Boom.
You hear it?
I can't hear it now. Are you playing it?
I sure am. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, is it just on YouTube?
Yeah, it's there.
On Patriots.
Yeah, they're just live draft show coverage. I just went back like a couple of minutes to the start of the press conference.
The Patriots Unfilter?
Yep.
As well, but we
I'll go to the start.
Off, and we felt like, again, just
can you hear it? You can hear this
available type situation for
yep.
us. At this point.
Okay.
Sides.
Let's see. Let's find the start of Elliott Wolf.
$35. I want to be a fan. So
no, since talk to acquired, he's from Utah.
All right, I got it.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to play the audio of Elliott Wolf talking about the Patriots' first round pick.
Yes, if Elliott's there, let's talk to him.
We're from Utah, traded up 3 spots and gave up a 4th round pick to acquire him. Really excited about this player. He's young, he's experienced, he's athletic, he's a great kid. And frankly, I was a little surprised that he was still available. And that's why we, decided to move up a little bit. And we're excited to add him. Any questions?
Elliott, how much of the fact that he was a 3-year starter factor into you guys picking him, given where you guys are at as an organization?
Yeah, he's a 3-year player, 2-year starter at Utah. He's still 21 years old, played mostly on the left side, but we feel like he has the athletic ability and talent to, obviously he has to come in and earn a role somewhere, but he has the athletic ability and talent and strength and, upside to kind of play anywhere on the line. And again, we're just really thrilled, big athletes like this are hard to come by, especially, later in the first round like this. So don't want to, set him up for any wild comparisons or anything like that. But just really, really happy that we were able to acquire him.
I think the majority of his college experience on the left side. Are you open to having him play on the right, or how do you think you'll approach?
Yeah, I mean, Will's the left tackle, and like
There
I
you
said,
go,
Caleb
guys.
has some versatility, so we feel
He
like
is the left tackle. He's
some
not
of
getting
the pro
moved.
day workouts that he did were on the right side, and we were comfortable with that. Again, he's very athletic, so I don't think either side will be a problem for him.
On guard, would he be a thought process at either of those spots?
It's a possibility. Physically and athletically, like we think that's something he could do. Like most rookie offensive linemen, he's gonna have to get stronger when he gets up here. But again, that's something for Coach Marone and Haas and John DeCoster to kind of decide and see what fits the best for us.
And can you take us behind like the trade? Is that an easy one to pull off, or are you sort of like grinding the phones?
I agree, Boston GM.
I would say, we've been working the phones pretty regularly, not only today, but, throughout the week, just, trying to find different contingencies. Today was, I would say, busier, just trying to feel out, I think this draft, I think a lot of people have said is a little bit unique. There were a lot of trades. There continue to be a lot of trades. I think
It's a good quote coming up
down here as well. But yeah, we were very active on the phones. Ryan and Matt Groh did a great job of, kind of working the phones and trying to understand where the value was. And ultimately with Caleb still on the board, we just felt like, giving up the extra pick to make sure that we could acquire him was important.
Did you think there was a drop off after Caleb at the tackle position?
We did. Again, there's still some good players at tackle and guard as well, but we felt like there was a drop off, and we felt like, again, just this best player available type situation for us at that point.
Any surprises for you over the first round?
I feel like I've probably been doing this long enough where nothing surprises me. But I think just the number of offensive linemen is interesting. And again, even with that, like the fact that Lomu was still available is pretty cool.
6 of the offensive tackles went to the first 21 picks. At that point in time, did you think you had a chance at Lomu?
We didn't. The way the board fell, there were still a couple players up there that, again.
Oh, we got an ad.
Ultimately, just
this Seahawks fan is giving a freaking rant right now. This is hilarious.
Around and found a trade partner, and maybe an unlikely trade partner in Buffalo, and we were able to make it work.
Morgan Moses too. You guys have reiterated that you're expecting him back. Did you see kind of this benefit of bringing in Lomu to kind of work with Will Campbell and Morgan Moses this year and have that ability to develop with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Morgan's been here this week. He's a tremendous leader and a great resource for young players. And, Caleb's young. I mean, he's got a lot of things that he's going to need to learn. He had a great offensive line coach at Utah and Jim Harding, and really excited to be able to get to work with him.
When you reset the board kind of at the end of the first, what goes into that from a logistical perspective? The end of the night here, kind of setting things up for day 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably just do that in the morning. Probably, it's good to remove yourself a little bit from it and just kind of focus in on what we need to do next. Obviously, we don't have an early round 2 pick, so it's going to be a lot like tonight where we're going to have to watch a lot of names come off that board before we can make it happen. So, certainly understanding as the names have come off tonight, like where the strengths and weaknesses are for day 2.
What did Caleb do during the draft process since his last football game was over to improve his stock? Or what did he do in your eyes from January on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the testing was excellent. We interviewed him at the combine. That was great. This is actually kind of, we actually canceled his 30 visit because we had one scheduled and we just didn't think he was going to factor in for us. We thought he'd be gone. So his agent,
that's funny.
Chase Callahan and Colin Roberts weren't too excited about that, but they understood, and here we are. So it's pretty exciting to be able to acquire him.
That was what I was talking about, the quote.
But athletically, like some of the things at the pro day, the feet, the ability to play right tackle.
They're bringing me in, Chase.
Where he showed the intelligence that we felt like he had some versatility and would be able to play more than one spot.
Elliot, other players you may have targeted as second round possibilities you'd be willing to move up the board to get if they're in range?
I think that's a possibility. You know, we like to have as many picks as we can, and obviously we gave one up. So I don't know how likely that is, but again, if it's the right thing for us, which we felt like this one was, certainly wouldn't rule it out.
Elliot, how high was he on the board?
We had a first round grade on him.
He ain't gonna
Elliot,
tell
can
him.
you take us through how you found
Number
out about
one.
Mike's decision not to take part on day 3 and your reaction, and how is that going to work without him there?
Yeah, I just refer to the statement. That's a personal thing that Mike's dealing with and going through, and obviously we support him. As far as the work is concerned on Saturday, not too worried about that. Just as far as the process that we have in place, the people that we have in place, and it's going to be different, without his presence there. But we feel really good about the people that we have in place to make up for it.
Do you feel like you guys will be able to get in contact with him if anything arises?
Yes.
Elliot, what will you be missing without Mike?
The stability.
You want to keep listening to it since they're just asking
of
about
him as a
Vrabel.
person.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some of the.
I think we got the gist.
Yeah. The Seahawks wrap it up with Jadarian Price in the first round, so we can. I mean, that wraps it up. Let's give me your thoughts, Cole. I mean, we've sat on it, we've talked about it. We have day 2. We know who's still available. Give me your thoughts real quick, and then we'll wrap this up.
I think you have to feel good about clearly how much they like the player. That just always gives me a little bit more senses of like. Just gets me a little more excited about the pick because clearly, I mean, for Elliot to one of his first sentences was, yeah, frankly, I'm kind of surprised he was even there. So that's kind of why we traded up. And then saying they canceled the 30 visit because they were like, he's not going to be here. He's too good of a player. So they like him. He flat out said that he's a great player and an NFL weight room is going to do him wonders. So he's still young. He's got plenty of room to grow if he can improve that strength a little bit. He thinks he's flexible to move on that right side, just kind of like you said as well. We'll see. Gonna give the kid a chance. I think, like you mentioned, it's going to be good that he will have probably the year to grow behind Morgan Moses. That's what we talked about with Iana Chor as well. So we'll take it. I mean, it's not like there was somebody on the board that I'm like, oh my God, we missed out on this guy. It was just kind of like, okay, this is fine. It just, I would say if AJ Brown wasn't coming to New England, if they didn't think that was happening, maybe one of these receivers I would have liked to trade up for instead. But overall, they're trying to protect Drake May, not just this year, but long term. And it's hard to be too upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me if I had him on my big board or short list or whatever, and I didn't because I agree. I didn't think he was there. Now, I don't want to say like I love the idea of Ahana or Miller. They're natural right tackles, but the athleticism of Lomu, I thought he was going to be gone before this. The experience, the youth of age. Listen, I think that it's a good pick. It's a position of need. It gives them an opportunity to develop him. Like he said, he doesn't have to come in and play year 1 like we were hoping that Will Campbell or needing Will Campbell to. We have Morgan Moses. He can play year 1. He can still get stronger. He can get more mature. We have a great offensive line coach in Doug Marrone. So I don't hate it. Are there other guys I probably would have preferred? Yeah, but I'm not pissed at this pick. This isn't a bad Cole Strange like pick. Like this is an okay pick. And like we said, they are happy about it. They're very happy about it, it sounds like. And so we'll see. Turning my attention to tomorrow, right? Obviously now we're looking at it. Edge rusher.
Tight end.
There's still some guys, tight ends. Yep. If Eli Stowers were to fall or, Light Shadow said Wolf just told you that he's not going to want to trade up in the second. Like, now that you already trade up in the first, I agree. If they're trading up, it's probably not until the third or probably the fourth because they don't have a 5th round pick to deal now. So it's going to have to be, a 4th round pick and that, a couple seconds. So they lost a little bit of ammo to trade up, but they sounded like they went up and got their guy. So a couple of positions they got to address tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're going to like the player if they took him, but it does feel like they feel pretty good about about this player, which always makes you excited, especially where like saying they had a first round grade on him and most people saying that there's maybe like 12 to 16 first round grades in this class.
Yeah.
So they probably thought that he was a top 15 to 20 player in this draft. And otherwise, if they thought he was like a top 25 player, then you probably take him on the 30 visit because there's a chance he gets there. So I think they thought this guy was going to go like top 20 probably. And as he fell, they felt good about it to go take him. So we'll see.
Yeah. Can't really complain about it. I mean, got a position that we both wanted.
I like them being aggressive for a player they like. Go get him.
Yeah. And sounds like they do. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight, guys. Appreciate it. 3 hours and 15 minutes. We will be live for day 2 tomorrow. I know I'll be on. Cole will probably join us at some point. Maybe we'll find out. But we will be live for both the Patriots picks for sure. We will be live for picks, 63, 95, and potentially if they trade up or, move down or something, we'll see. So still lots of unanswered questions that they need to address tomorrow. So appreciate guys. Make sure you like, subscribe on the video, turn the notification bell on. So once we go live tomorrow, you guys know when we are there, but appreciate all the support. And until tomorrow, we will talk to you guys later.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Patriots Drive podcast. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with all things New England Patriots. Make sure you tune in to the next episode and check out patriotsdrive.com for more great content.
We're on to Cincinnati.